Live broadcast of Naruto begins with a movie The Death of Naruto. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 576. Tauba, who was in so much pain that tears were pouring out, cursed Akamaru after breaking free, but Akamaru didn't show any restraint at all. After the ferocious attack failed, he ran away without looking back. Naruto looked at the interaction between the two and asked in confusion, "What happened between you and Akamaru?" "Nothing, it's just the same as usual." Kiba curled up like a cat and rubbed his hands on his face, and said with emotion, "Really, I want to be a ninja who uses cats." "Cats?" Naruto showed a question mark face like an old man on the subway, and Shino beside him explained calmly, "If you want to ask why, it's because Kiba is a cat-loving person." "Huh? Nothing happened. Do you think it's possible? He's probably been under an illusion. I don't know who Madara is. This is the creator of a world of illusion without Uchiha Madara. What's the point? Inuzuka Kiba has become a cat-loving person who hates dogs. Isn't this telling Naruto that there is something wrong with him? Since Afei arranged it this way, it means he is sure that Naruto and his friends can't solve it, even though they already know there is a problem here. Letting a member of the Inuzuka clan become a ninja who wants to use cats, what kind of bad taste does Afei have? Don't be angry, Akamaru. Don't be fooled by Shianu's illusion. I like you the most. I won't become a cat-loving person." Kiba coaxed Akamaru in a panic. It took a lot of effort to calm it down. Then he was full of anger and had nowhere to vent. He cursed fiercely in his heart, "Damn Afei, what kind of broken illusion is this? Don't let me touch you, or I won't let Akamaru bite your ass." "So, what are you two doing here? Are you on a date?" Hinata suddenly interrupted, raised her eyebrows and glared at Sakura. Sakura immediately showed a "forgive me" expression and said with a smile, "Hate, Hinata, what are you talking about?" Before she could finish her words, Hinata suddenly leaned close to Sakura's ear, rolled her eyes, and threatened murderously, "If you dare to seduce him, I will kill you." Sakura was frightened by this unexpected threat and her face turned pale. Quing, seeing Hinata was still insisting on asking about the situation, Naruto hurried forward to persuade her, but Hinata, dressed like a hot girl, was obviously not in a good mood. She grabbed Naruto's collar and asked him viciously, Why are you biased towards her?" Naruto felt a little overwhelmed by this, and called Sakura to evacuate quickly. Then, with the cover of the shadow clone, the two of them took the opportunity to run away, but Hinata did not intend to let them go, and chased after them while yelling, leaving Shino, who was ignored, behind. Is this a reversal of personality? That soft Hinata has turned into haughty. Hinata with this kind of personality feels quite attractive. Her dressing style is very bold, so cool. Ha ha ha. Although it's an illusion, this development is very interesting. The other people in Konoha should have become like this. Tisk tisk, I have to say, if Hinata has always been like this, no matter if Naruto is emotionally slow or pretending to be stupid, he would have been taken down long ago, and there would be no chance for him to be out and about. How? How could it be? Hinata stood up in a panic, and murmured palely, "How can you do that to Sakura and Naruto? I'm too much?" Hinata wanted to apologize to Sakura, but was immediately pulled back to her seat by her deskmate Hong. Don't panic. Didn't you see those people's analysis? This is probably just an illusion. So that person just looks like you, not you at all." Hong hugged Hinata to comfort her, then smiled and teased, "But if you become the one on the sky, Hinata, it will be pretty good. Girls are more attractive if they are generous." Teacher Hong in the Hyuga family, Hyuga Hayashi looked at the hot girl Hinata on the sky and snorted heavily, "What do you mean? How can a famous Hyuga dress up like this? Is Akatsuki's level so high?" Hanabi, who was standing by, was very interested in this and responded with a smile, "But my sister looks very handsome like this, and she has the prestige of the heir of the Hyuga family." "Humph. Anyway, it's not okay to dress like this, Hanabi. You should also be careful." Sakura, who was on her way home, looked at the Hinata on the sky who was about to kill her, and touched her face with a toothache. "Fortunately it's just an illusion, otherwise I can't stand this character Hinata. All the girls who have their eyes on Naruto will be severely punished by her." Naruto scratched his head and looked at the sky with a tangled face, Hinata, a little scary. Ha ha ha. Obviously, that little girl named Sakura was also very fierce to you. Why do you think this one is scary? Jiraiya patted Naruto's shoulder and laughed. After finally getting rid of Hinata, Naruto and Sakura walked through an alley and came to the street. Before the two confused people could sort out the current situation, Shikamaru and Joe walked towards them. I say, Traji, let's go eat barbecue. Barbecue Q. Each table is only 1,500 taels, and you can eat as much as you want. If 3 people share it, let me calculate how much it is. Shikamaru looked at Traji with a not very smart expression. Traji, who has a standard figure and looks a bit handsome, replied unhappily, 500 taels. Anyway, I hate buffets. I don't eat much, so 500 taels is not worth it. What are you talking about? It's only 500 taels for 5 people, what a bargain. Shikamaru stopped Traji, who wanted to leave, and yelled like a willful child. Traji was immediately annoyed when he heard it. How can I possibly eat 5 people's portions? Looking at the 2 people who started arguing, who looked weak, separated the 2 people in a soft tone. This scene made Sakura speechless immediately, and Naruto couldn't help but complain. Did she act cute just now? Here we go, it's the turn of the pig, deer and butterfly combination. Let me see, Shikamaru, whose IQ is obviously low, Traji, who eats little, and a soft girl, right, the personalities of the 3 people are all reversed. Ho ha ho ha. The Nara clan, which is famous for its intelligence, actually gave birth to a fool. This is a scene I never dreamed of. Off-phase illusion is really powerful. Chapter 577. I'm curious, is Shikamaru the only one who's a special case, or are all the Nara clan in this illusion world idiots? How can a clan of idiots survive? They would have been eaten up long ago. Illusions don't require logic. Maybe that's the case. To be honest, it's hard to tell in the teenage and middle-aged periods, but this young Traji is quite handsome after losing weight. This image should be in line with JoJo's aesthetic. The Akimichi clan doesn't eat much. I remember they seem to rely on food to convert into combat power, so isn't Traji much weaker in this state? Haha. Yamanaka doesn't appear many times, so I'm not sure what her true nature is, but seeing how Naruto reacts to her cuteness, it can be seen that she must have changed a lot. Tisk, what a shitty illusion. Shikamaru covered his forehead with disgust, and couldn't bear to look at his own stupid look on the sky screen. Was also somewhat dissatisfied with a weak self on the sky screen. For her, who was full of confidence, it was really hard to imagine that she would show such an expression. On the other hand, Traji was quite yearning for himself on the sky screen. Didn't you see that someone praised him for his handsomeness? The only thing worth complaining about was that he had a small appetite. Was this a characteristic that would appear in the Akimichi clan? At this time, the 3 people, Shika and Joe, also noticed the 2 people here. Maintained that delicate tone and invited the 2 people to have barbecue with them like a spoiled child. Now Sakura was 100% sure that something was wrong. Naruto wanted to continue to work hard and mentioned that Afei had just attacked them. However, the situation was obvious. The 3 people, Shika and Joe, had no idea who Naruto was talking about. The silly-looking Shikamaru even thought that Naruto was talking about delicious fish. Sakura had no choice but to not understand why everyone became so strange. Naruto was also a little speechless, looking at the familiar yet unfamiliar Shika and Joe. What on earth did Afei want to do by creating this upside-down world, and even deliberately erasing his own existence? It shouldn't be just to trap Naruto and the others. No matter how powerful this illusion is, as long as Konoha finds Naruto and the others, it can be solved with some effort. The atmosphere suddenly became a little scary, watching a group of people doing things they would never do in the past. Traji and Shikamaru looked at each other, then stepped forward and pressed Sakura's shoulders to comfort her. Sakura, you are the son of a hero, you must cheer up. Sakura, who hadn't reacted yet, was suddenly stunned. Son of a hero. Look. Traji pointed in the direction of the shadow rock, and everyone looked in the direction he was looking, only to see that the position of the 4th Hokage on the shadow rock had actually become the rock statue of Sakura's father. Dad? Dad? Sakura looked incredulous, and Naruto also widened his eyes. What on earth is going on? Puff. Another unexpected development. What the hell? The 4th Hokage has been replaced. Afei really didn't try to cover up the falsehood here. Ha ha ha, How will the fourth Hokage change from Naruto's father to Sakura's father? Hey. I think I understand a little bit. Did Naruto and Sakura have this kind of fantasy before they were hit? Naruto thought that if his father was not the fourth Hokage, Sakura also thought that his father was a respected ninja, which happened to be the situation here matches. From what Choji said, Sakura's father should have sacrificed himself, which is also related to Sakura's previous attitude of disliking her parents. Sakura has replaced Naruto's life. In this world, she is not the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. Sakura paused, looking at the sky with an awkward expression, muttering, even if it is an illusion, I can't imagine what my father has to become a Hokage. It's just that sacrifice. Thinking of this, Sakura took another step. It seems that she will have to kneel down with her parents after returning home to get their forgiveness. The absurd idea she had on the sky was really too much? Is this an illusion world created based on the two people's ideas? In other words, in their fantasy, their partner should have such a reversed personality. This is impossible. It should be an accident when a Fae cast the spell. Hey. Since the fourth Hokage has been replaced, it means that the Namokaze Minato in this world is still alive. Very interesting. Let's see how the story goes next. Inside the belly of the god of death, Minato stared at the shadow of the fourth Hokage on the sky with a strange expression. After a little recollection, he remembered Haruno Aki, a little-known Konoha Shunin. Although Minato also thought that the development of this illusion was a bit far-fetched, he couldn't help but diverge his thoughts at this time. Maybe Mr. Haruno has the qualifications to become a Hokage. Of course, this is not the point. The point is that in the world where he is still alive, he should be able to fully convey the warmth of his family to Naruto. Naruto widened his eyes like himself on the sky. It was difficult for Naruto to accept that the fourth Hokage was not his father for a while, but when he reacted, Naruto immediately thought that he should not be an orphan in that world, which made Naruto look forward to it. It's a pity that all this is just an illusion created by the enemy's ninjutsu. Before the two of them came back to their senses from this abnormal situation, a familiar voice came from behind the crowd. I say, what are you guys arguing about in such a place? Everyone turned their heads and saw Sasuke, dressed in trendy clothes, walking over with his hands in his pockets across the street. Sakura shouted his name in shock, and Naruto was directly ignited and asked in a stern voice, why are you in the village? Is there anything wrong with me being in my own village? Sasuke asked back with a hearty smile, which immediately confused Naruto. Seeing this, Sasuke continued, why do you look like you have seen a ghost, Sakura? Menma. Menma is. Naruto said the name with a strange look on his face, and suddenly forgot that Sasuke was still in the village. What a constant surprise, Sasuke. Wow. Sasuke's dress is so trendy. What kind of personality does he have in this world? Chapter 578. Naruto's reaction is very interesting. His first reaction is to question. Isn't he the one who wants to bring Sasuke back to Konoha the most? At this point in time, Naruto should have known about Sasuke's hatred for Konoha. Naruto probably thought that Sasuke wanted to harm Konoha, so his face changed drastically because he appeared here. Tisk, you actually said your village so confidently. Sasuke, you have changed. Funny. Hey, what the hell is Menma? Has Naruto in this world even changed his name? Because Naruto hates bamboo shoots, he has become Menma in this world, a phase design. He must have been secretly observing Naruto for quite a while. I'm not used to seeing Sasuke like this. Sakura walked and looked at the sky with a subtle expression. Sasuke frowned deeply, looking at the carefree self on the sky, and had a bad feeling in his heart. Personality reversed. What will my personality become after it's reversed? Naruto's figure subconsciously appeared in his mind, and Sasuke quickly shook his head to get rid of this terrible idea. On the other hand, Naruto didn't react much to Sasuke's appearance in Konoha. After all, Sasuke has now embarked on a completely different path, so he naturally won't too entangled with Sasuke's identity as a traitor in Tenko. However, Naruto was quite dissatisfied with the fact that he became Menma in Tenko. There were many other names, but it was his least favorite bamboo shoot, Menma. This rascal was really bad. The scene turned to a bathhouse. Sakura and three girls of the same age were soaking in the female bath, listening to Tenten with a band-aid on her face complaining about her wounds, and Ino's persuasion that she should not use ninja tools anymore. Sakura didn't say much under the idea of observing the situation, but Hinata pointed the spearhead at her at this time. openly exposing her chest, and looking at Sakura's chest with contempt. Humph. You are still the perfect washboard as always. Wash. What are you talking about? Sakura quickly covered her chest when she heard it. Hinata took advantage of the victory and pointed at Sakura, saying bluntly, Menma is my man, don't forget this, washboard. Washboard. Sakura sank into the pool with a face full of embarrassment, and in her heart she said, this is the first time I feel unhappy with Hinata. This scene seems familiar. It is indeed the follow-up to the previous daily routine, but why is it so similar? It is indeed similar, but I still can't see anything. Damn it. It is clearly a chance to see the women's bathhouse. Who said that? It just looks the same. These people have different personalities. How can the plot be the same? For example, Hinata, look how generous she is. She is not worried about floating up at all. No matter what Hinata's attitude is, Sakura will be hurt. This is a lesson. Girls should not go to the bathhouse with other girls with good figures. Tisk tisk tisk. Hinata is so bold. She is directly stealing a man. Really? Showing a girl bathing is too much? Twice? Tiantian complained and stuck out his tongue, then looked at himself with a band-aid on the screen curiously. Other people have reversed personalities. Have I become a ninja who is not good at using ninja tools, and I actually hurt myself all over? You are allowed to maintain your original fighting style, but you are given the characteristic of not being good at using ninja tools. What a illogical world. Nixie commented expressionlessly. The reason why I specifically pointed out the illogicality here is because Nixie, like Sasuke, also had a bad feeling. Since everyone else had become indecent, what about him? Hinata hid in Hong's arms, too embarrassed to face anyone. It was fine that the bathing scene was shown to the whole ninja world, but she actually used her own figure to laugh at Sakura. Hinata felt that she was really too much and too shameless. Sakura instantly fell to her knees. Why? Why did she have to experience the same blow twice? Is it great to have big breasts? Should washboard girls be laughed at? Aino couldn't help laughing out loud. Compared with her, the changes of others were more difficult to adapt to. However, Hinata is really interesting like this. She even choked Sakura to the point of being speechless. Let's not talk about the jealousy in the women's bath. At this time, in the men's bath on the other side, Naruto and Shino mentioned whether there was Zion Lee who came with him. Shino immediately responded angrily when he heard it. Who made him a practicing bug? I hate bugs the most. Your mind and that thing are very small. Naruto glanced at Shino's crotch subtly, and then his attention was attracted by Yu, who was dressed as a cat with a shower cap and foam on the other side. After seeing Yu excitedly transforming into a lion, which is also a cat, Naruto's expression became more subtle. If I have to say, I still want to hear you bark like a dog. Naruto was speechless. At this time, Shikamaru was playing the bowling game with a happy face. Looking at the water overflowing because of him falling into the bathtub, Chaji had no choice but to use the multiplication technique to raise the water level. This also caused Shikamaru to exclaim repeatedly and asked why with a wise face. What a load of crap. Kiba has become a cat lover. Shikamaru has become an idiot. Just looking at them makes me annoyed. Naruto complained loudly while holding his head. Sasuke, who was sitting next to him washing his body, retorted, don't be so startled, it's so annoying. Tisk, you haven't changed at all. Naruto pursed his lips and thought, although everyone has become strange, there are still people who haven't changed. As expected, Aburame Shino has become someone who hates bugs. The huge larva that originally shocked Naruto is gone. This is a huge blow. Tisk tisk, Naruto, your hobbies are very wrong. What does it mean to like listening to others barking like dogs? Funny, Shino's expression remained the same, as if he was not affected by the sky curtain at all, but he slightly turned his body to avoid Kiba's downward sight. After a fruitless investigation, Yu turned his attention back to the sky, looking at himself who was meowing like a cat in silence, and cursed again in a low voice, damn Afe, damn illusion. Chapter 579. Shikamaru is even more stupid than I thought. In his current state, I can't think of anything else he can do except drag the team down. How did he become a ninja? It's even more outrageous. Didn't you notice that he was wearing a Konoha vest before? That means this idiot Shikamaru is at least a chunin, although I know it's an illusion, since it has unfolded into an illusion world, at least be a little more logical. A fool can't become a chunin, could it be because of Chaji? This Chaji looks very mature and steady. Maybe the Ino Shikajo in the world is the brains of the team, laugh if you want to. It's just an illusion anyway. Shikamaru covered his face to avoid the sight of Asuma and his two teammates, and said in a muffled voice. Upon hearing this, Ino couldn't help laughing, and fell on the table. Ho ha ho ha. Shikamaru. Shikamaru. Ho ha ho ha. And Asuma, in order to save Shikamaru's face, coughed lightly and finally stopped laughing, then said seriously, well, cough. It's okay, just like you said, it's just an illusion. It's probably because the enemy thinks you are difficult to deal with, and wants to use this method to attack your will. It's okay. Huh. Ahem, I'm not laughing. As a close friend, Traji naturally wouldn't laugh at Shikamaru. It's better to say that most of his attention is on Shianmu's himself. That kind of calm and steady look, Traji feels that he may not be able to learn it in his lifetime. He is really envious. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Naruto is much calmer than expected about Sasuke's existence. He actually accepted it so naturally. Indeed, it's as if the pursuit of Sasuke before never happened. I don't understand what he's thinking. When chasing him, he was willing to risk his life, but when he came back, he looked disgusted. The way these two get along is still as awkward and pretentious as before. By the way, has Sasuke's personality really not changed? He actually looks quite normal. How could he not have changed? Didn't you see his trendy outfit before? It's just that his true nature hasn't been exposed yet, and just as this thought emerged in Naruto's mind, Neji standing behind him also made a strange move. Neji opened his Byakugan facing the wall, with a wretched expression on his face. Perhaps it was the resonance between the Byakugan. Hinata, who was still arguing with Sakura in the women's bath, suddenly noticed his sight. This made Hinata angry, and she left the bath directly to find Neji to settle the score. Just at this moment, Rock Lee fell from the broken ceiling and fell into the women's locker room. Ino's scream instantly resounded throughout the bathhouse. Hinata, wrapped in a bath towel, grabbed Rock Lee's collar and asked loudly, Rock Lee. You bastard. You said you were going to practice, but you're peeping here. Rocky Lee quickly explained that he fell in accidentally because he tripped, but even Tenten didn't believe this explanation, let alone Hinata, who had a very bad temper. Puff. Ha ha ha. Here it comes. Big news. Hyuga's big news. Finally someone has fulfilled my fantasy. I said Hyuga's Byakugan would be used for peeping. I never thought that you, with your thick eyebrows and big eyes, would be such a pervert. I can't even imagine that your righteous face could reveal such a wretched expression. Realistic Neji, just admit it. Have you also secretly done something similar? Or, to expand on it, have all Hyuga people secretly done something similar? Crisis. Hyuga's reputation is in great danger. If you don't explain it clearly, don't even think about entering the hot springs and bathhouses in the future. Ridiculous. Can't you just hide at home and watch? Do you need to go to the hot springs and bathhouses? Ha ha ha. Afei is indeed from the Uchiha clan. Even if he hates Uchiha, he also dislikes Hyuga. Ningsi. I misjudged you. I didn't expect you to be such a person. I despise you. Zio Lee pointed at Ningsi and scolded him angrily. Before Ningsi could speak out to defend himself, Kai patted Zio Lee's shoulder. Stop it, Lee. After stopping Zio Lee's words, Kai looked at Ningsi and said earnestly, Ningsi, it doesn't matter if people make mistakes. As long as you learn to admit your mistakes and reflect on them, I believe everyone will forgive you and give you another chance. So now, let's go to the bathhouse together and apologize to all the women passing by. I'll go with you. Akai patted Ningsi's shoulder kindly, and then Ningsi Lee suddenly exploded and roared loudly, please understand the situation. That is an illusion. The enemy's illusion. I will never do a peek. This is a slander against me. A slander against Hyuga. Yes, Neji will never do such a thing. Tenten loudly supported Neji, and then looked at Neji with trust in his eyes. Neji, I believe you are definitely not a pervert who peeks at girls. Neji covered his eyes in pain and raised his head. Tenten, can you not hide in the small room when you say this? Lee, and don't cover your chest with your hands. Afei really observed Naruto's life carefully before launching this move, and directly replicated the incident of Lee falling into the women's locker room. What kind of bad taste does this guy have? Is it necessary to take this matter so seriously? The boys who heard the noise here also rushed in. After accusing Lee of peeping into the women's bathhouse every day, Neji reprimanded him with a righteous face, but Hinata didn't intend to let Neji go, and directly ignored Lee and grabbed Niji's face. Lee took the opportunity to push everyone away and escaped from the bathhouse. Seeing this, the others chased after him. At this time, Sakura and Naruto used this opportunity to exchange information and confirmed that everyone's personalities had been reversed. Everyone? Sasuke too? Sakura asked hurriedly. Naruto looked at Sasuke, who was peeking at the door, and replied, "No, he hasn't changed much. He's still as annoying as usual." Really? If Lee hasn't changed either, then the peeping is just a misunderstanding. Sakura came to this conclusion and then chased after him with Naruto. Ninja is not only a peeping pervert, but he's also very shameless. He actually had the nerve to stand up and accuse Lee. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelist. There you'll find the original version of this story, and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 580. He's so confident even when he's not caught. By the way, even Niji has become a pervert who peeks into the female bathhouse. Is Lee really innocent? What do you mean? Are you saying that Lee's training was fake and he was really peeping into the female bathhouse? Maybe. After all, Lee in real life is quite serious. If his personality is reversed, it's not surprising that he would do something weird. Tisk. Naruto actually thinks Sasuke hasn't changed much? Not to mention his previous outfit, the fact that he's in Konoha itself is problematic. Sasuke in real life is also very serious. I'm really looking forward to what Sasuke in this illusion world will be like. The bad feeling in his heart became stronger and stronger. Although it was just an illusion of a Fei and he knew it wasn't him, Sasuke didn't want to die in front of the whole ninja world like Niji. The crowd stopped Lee in an alley. Niji continued to point fingers at Lee from a moral high ground. Hinata immediately questioned his qualifications to say these things. Lee looked aggrieved and pointed at the torn clothes on his shoulders to defend himself, but Hinata didn't believe him at all. She clenched her fists and was about to attack him, but was stopped by Sakura and Naruto, who were a step slower. Everyone calm down, maybe it's just a coincidence. Sakura stepped forward to help Lee up, but in the process she accidentally hooked the torn part of his clothes and tore off Lee's tights, revealing a set of pink women's sports bras inside. "That is my underwear." Tenten pointed at Lee with a disgusted look on her face. Everyone was dumbfounded. After a long time, Sakura finally came to her senses and let out a shrill scream. Even Lee. Ha ha ha. I knew you wouldn't let me down. Lee. Ha ha ha. I'm so happy. Today's story is so interesting. The more serious people are in real life, the more perverted they will become in that world. So, what about Kakashi? What about Jiraiya? What have these people become? Let me see it quickly. Tisk. Niji was not wrong about you. Lee, your behavior is indeed much more serious than peeping. Konoha in this world is hopeless. The new generation of ninjas are actually such a group of people. Get away from me, Lee. Tenten let out a scream that almost pierced her eardrums, took out the scroll and threw a barrage of weapons at Lee. Lee dodged in a panic, stammering in defense, "No. It's not like that. That's not. I didn't. It has nothing to do with me." "Why is it nothing to do with you?" The affected Ningxi also dodged and said sarcastically, "I really misjudged you, Lee. You are such a person, I despise you. And this doesn't seem to have anything to do with me. Why are you attacking me too?" Kai, who was also attacked, said with a depressed look. "You all shut up. Stay away from me." Xianshin took out the second scroll. At this time, she really wanted to kill people. After ending this farce, Naruto and Sakura came to the observation deck next to the Hokage rock to discuss the situation. "Really, I'm going crazy. Even if I remove the illusion, it's useless. Sasuke is in the village and calls me Menma. What's going on here?" Naruto scratched his hair with an irritated look on his face. Sakura pondered for a moment and said her guess. "At that time, Madara's ninjutsu brought us to another world. This is the only explanation. What does another world mean? I'm not sure either. There is too little information known at present." So, the two people who had no clue could only settle down temporarily and decide on the follow-up actions after collecting information. This also meant that Naruto had to bear the name of Menma for a period of time, which made him feel very repulsive and helpless. Another world? Isn't it an illusion? This is just Sakura's guess. If it is a special illusion, isn't it normal that they can't solve it? Illusions can be explained, but another world is too exaggerated. Parallel world. This is just a scientific conjecture. If Afe has this ability, wouldn't he be really invincible? All the enemies that can't be defeated will be transferred to other worlds. But if you say it's an illusion, isn't this a bit too real? To build such a world, Afe's attainments in illusion must be very high. Let's see what happens next. We can't guess what the result will be here. I hope it's true. Parallel world. Orochimaru licked his tongue, with a hint of enthusiasm in his eyes. After time travel, now there is another suspected parallel world travel example. This unknown really makes Orochimaru unable to stop. If I had known, I would have left the nine-tailed imp behind. Is it because of his identity as the child of prophecy that he has all kinds of adventures? I really want to study it. After the two separated, Sakura returned to her empty home. The photo with her parents on the wall turned into a single photo of her. This reminded Sakura of the care the vendors gave her when she was shopping, and she murmured, "So, the so-called hero." Although she said this, what Sakura felt at this time was not the loneliness of being alone, but the relaxation caused by not having to listen to her parents nagging anymore. This made Sakura let herself go directly, threw away her shoes and ran into the house like a madman. On the other side, Naruto was walking on his way home, mumbling with a depressed look on his face, "I am Uzumaki Naruto." While walking, Naruto suddenly thought of something. Wait a minute. Sakura's father became a hero. As he said this, Naruto turned his head to look at Jingayan, and then took a step and ran towards his home impatiently. When Naruto saw the lights on at home, a happy smile suddenly appeared on his face. He shouted Mom and Dad and rushed to the door impatiently, but an unfamiliar middle-aged woman appeared in the house. "Who are you?" The middle-aged woman, who looked quite fierce, asked loudly. Naruto, who couldn't explain clearly, was hit by all kinds of debris thrown by the other party. Looking at the closed door, Naruto shouted to the sky in grief and anger, "I don't even have a home anymore. What is this world? What a joke." Chapter 581. Tisk tisk tisk, Sakura is so heartless. Her reaction to her parents' sacrifices that no one has ever told her off. It means she didn't take the current situation seriously at all, because it's fake, so she naturally doesn't care about her parents' sacrifice. That's true. Although most rebellious children have disliked their parents, they don't really want them to disappear. It's a bit too much. If this illusion world is really generated based on Naruto and Sakura's ideas, then to some extent, Sakura killed her parents in this world. I'm so sorry. Mom and Dad. Sakura rushed into the house, slid to her knees in front of her parents without saying a word, and apologized loudly. "Forget it. Anyway, I'm just a nosy, dispensable mother, and I can't afford to apologize to you, the disciple of the 5th Hokage and the future Jonin," Sakura's mother Hiruno Mibukki said sarcastically while sitting on the sofa with her arms folded in front of her chest. "Yet, after all, I'm just a useless father who can't be a Jonin. I can't become the 4th Hokage like the one on the sky screen and let you have a respected father. I'm really sorry." Hiruno Zhao nodded in agreement, without even looking at Sakura, and focused all his attention on the sky screen. "Dad, Mom, don't listen to the nonsense of the me on the sky screen. I love you the most." Sakura quickly moved in front of the two of them, grabbed Hiruno Mibukki's hand and shook it like a spoiled child. "Ah!" Both parents shuddered at the same time. Hiruno Mibukki broke away from Sakura's hand with an unbearable look on her face, and said unhappily, "Enough. Don't act cute, it's scary. If you know you're wrong, pack up your things for me in the future, don't throw them everywhere. Don't. I know. I'll listen to you in everything, Mom." A family crisis was resolved by Sakura's nonsense, allowing her to avoid being kicked out of the house. Naruto has just realized that his parents didn't die. Maybe the shock caused by the changes in his friends is too great, so he didn't think about it for a while. Tisk tisk tisk, it's miserable to have no memory, and there's no place to stay. What a terrible world. My name has become Enma, and now I don't even have a home. Naruto muttered quietly, looking at the sky with disgust. Under a red moon, the black and white Zetsu standing on a wooden arch bridge said to the white Zetsu disguised as an Akatsuki member under the bridge, "Thank you for your hard work. Thanks to you, we successfully got rid of them." Afei, who was also standing on the bridge, looked at the lake under the bridge and casually explained, "The prototype of the infinite Tsukuyomi, limited Tsukuyomi, that world is like a reflection of the lake. using the power of the seven-tailed beasts to teleport the target to another reality that completely copies this world. In response, Zetsu had some questions, but, that world is not exactly the same as this one? To put it in a metaphor, those guys are like, these stones. Afe picked up a small stone and threw it into the lake. Looking at the ripples on the lake, he replied, when foreign objects are thrown in from the outside, distortion will inevitably occur. I see. But it's strange. Although that world was created by you, everything about it can't be as you wish. I told you that this technique is just a trial work, but I won't give up the initiative. It's all fake. At this point in time, our Afe and this black and white face the only ones left in Akatsuki. Why don't I understand Afe's words? What's copying this world? What's another reality? Is this limited Tsukuyomi an illusion? It should be an illusion. That black and white face said that the world was created by Afe. If it is a real world, doesn't it mean that Afe is as strong as the Six Paths Sage? He created the world directly. From the conversation between the two, it seems that both explanations make sense. The reason why they deny that it is not a real world is simply because they think that Afe does not have that ability, but if he really has that ability, Afe said that he used the power of the seven-tailed beasts. Could it be that he can create the world with the power of the seven-tailed beasts? Anyway, I don't believe it. From the current situation, Naruto and Sakura seem to have been teleported to a certain place. What level of illusion is needed to accommodate the bodies of the victims? It's easier to accept than creating a new world. I am in a state of decadence and can't find a way forward. Afe, after hearing this conversation on the sky, was stunned for a moment, then his eyes lit up and his body trembled slightly. Limited Tsukuyomi. Could it be that this technique is not a weakened version of infinite Tsukuyomi, but really creates a new world? If it is true, doesn't it mean that he doesn't need to get all the tailed beasts at all? Although the difficulty is still very high, and although the new world cannot be as dreamed of, it also means that he still has the opportunity to work hard again. Even if the plan of infinite Tsukuyomi in the new world fails, at least he still has the opportunity to seal in again, and he will not be as confused as he is now, not knowing what direction the future will go. The idea is very beautiful, but when Afe calmed down, he found that all this was only based on the possibility that limited Tsukuyomi could create a world, but the problem is that this possibility is quite slim. Calm down, don't hold too much hope, everything is just speculation, wait and see the situation before deciding the next action. After taking a few deep breaths, Afe finally calmed down, and then focused all his attention on the sky, not letting go of any clues that might appear next. At the same time, Black Zetsu, who was still looking for Afe, also had many ideas. Of course, he was not thinking of going to another world to fight again. After all, even if there was another Kaguya Otsutsuki in the new world, it had nothing to do with him, Black Zetsu. His goal was only one, that is, to save Kaguya in this world. Therefore, most of the actions envisioned by Black Zetsu revolved around seizing the tailed beasts from other worlds. However, Black Zetsu thought that this plan had almost no possibility of realization. After all, using seven-tailed beasts to create a world with nine-tailed beasts was an outrageous idea. Chapter 582. In the Pure Land, although he had never come across the concept of parallel worlds, after analyzing the previous plots of the Sky Curtain, Uchiha saw that there were some contradictions between the contents of each issue of the Sky Curtain, and thus boldly guessed that in addition to their world, there were other seemingly true ninja worlds. After reaching this conclusion, Uchiha looked at the plot on the Sky Curtain again, and it was easy to think that Afe's limited moon reading only teleported people to another world, but Afe mistakenly thought that the world was created by him, which was more in line with the power level shown by the seven-tailed beasts. Limited moon reading. To some extent, this technique is no less than the infinite moon reading. I didn't expect that Obito, the brainless kid, could develop this technique. Uchiha shook his head and sighed, but he quickly realized that perhaps the two worlds shown on the Sky Curtain were not the world he was in now. Even if he expands his thinking a little bit, perhaps the stories shown by the Sky Curtain before did not all happen in their world, which can explain why so many inexplicable things keep popping up in the next few years, and most of them he has never heard of. Before it was time travel, and now other worlds have appeared. I always feel that infinite moon reading is not very safe. How can we bring real peace? Thinking of this, Uchiha has a headache. If these two problems are not solved, even if he is resurrected, It seems that he can't directly start the infinite moon reading plan. The scene changes. In a forest under the night, a mysterious man with a black hedgehog head and a mask drags a seriously injured ninja into the depths of the forest. The blood limit plus the secret technique gathers many powers. The ambition to dominate the ninja world is really visible at a glance. With a burning village behind him as the background, Afei appeared behind the mysterious man in an illusory posture. You have no entity, but you have a strong sense of self. Who are you? The mysterious man said in a calm and condescending tone. Afei was not annoyed by this and replied meaningfully, it doesn't matter who it is. Compared to this, I will lend you my power. The mask is different. Is it Afei in this world? The voice is different, it should be another person. Whether this world is an illusion or not, Afei can talk to the characters in this world like this, so it doesn't matter whether it is true or false. According to Afei, this limited moon reading is only the prototype of the infinite Tsukuyomi. What kind of power will it have when it really develops the infinite Tsukuyomi? It can't really create the world, right? Who knows? Afei wants to collect all the tailed beasts. Didn't he just reveal the information about the 10 tails? This is probably Afei's goal. After getting the 10 tails, Afei may really become the second Six Paths sage. It seems that it is not impossible to repeat the creation myth at that time. The next morning, when Sakura was looking for clothes in the closet, she saw the shadow robe embroidered with the words of the fourth Hokage hanging on the hanger, and smiled with a settled mood. At this time, there was a knock on the window outside the house. After recognizing Sasuke, Sakura quickly wrapped herself up tightly, then pulled open the curtains and greeted him expectantly. Sasuke-kun, what's up so early? I was a little worried about your appearance yesterday. Sasuke showed a wicked smile, took out a red rose from his back, and said with a domineering face, tell me if you have any troubles, I will always support you. Sasuke-kun. The Sakura was sunk in an instant, and a large number of pink bubbles suddenly appeared in the air. Ha. Although it was very tense at the beginning, I still couldn't help laughing when watching this kind of plot. Sasuke, ha. It's okay. At least it's much better than Niji, the pervert who peeked into the bathhouse. With Sasuke's looks, giving flowers to girls is not a bad thing. It's mainly the contrast. The Sasuke who said he wanted to destroy Konoha with a ferocious face has become a fashionable man who smiles and gives flowers to girls. Just for this point, people can't help but laugh. Haha. It's okay if you don't say it. The more you say it, the more people want to laugh. Ha. I will always support you. Sujetsu handed the towel in his hand to Sasuke seriously, and then was cut in half by Sasuke with a dark face. In response, Sujetsu was not angry as usual. Instead, he turned into a puddle of water and lay on the ground, laughing breathlessly. Ha. You can also say such words, I can't stand it, I'm laughing to death, ha. Sasuke was so angry that his head was smoking. He wished he could vaporize the chatterbox Sujetsu with a fireball. Now Sasuke could only comfort himself in his heart. Fortunately, there was only this guy he had just met. If Naruto was here, he would be ridiculed for a long time. At the same time, Sasuke was also very glad that at least himself on the sky screen was not as dead as Ninja. It doesn't matter if he is not serious, at least it is better than being called a pervert. Konoha, watching after finishing the explanation of the barrage, Sakura found it hard to look directly at Sasuke who was giving flowers to her on the screen, but she was secretly happy in her heart. Her mood was really contradictory. Unlike Sakura who was in high spirits, Naruto's situation was hard to describe. On the bench by the roadside, Naruto, who was sleeping here, complained to Sakura who came together. However, Sakura, who was happy early in the morning, was very perfunctory about it. Naruto was even more unhappy and complained loudly, why do you have an attitude that it has nothing to do with me? Isn't Sakura the same? Hearing this, Sakura smiled a little embarrassedly, how should I put it? I should be quite at ease. At ease. I'm the only one who's unlucky. Perhaps because she felt a little sorry for Naruto, Sakura quickly changed the subject, summarized the information they had collected, and briefly analyzed the current situation. Tisk. Two people who were both infected, one had everything going smoothly, and the other encountered obstacles everywhere. A face targeting is too strong. Sakura, you can feel good about it, but why do you say it to provoke Naruto? From the current situation, this world is indeed related to their thoughts before they were infected, So Naruto is likely to see his living parents, but they have not appeared yet. Chapter 583. While talking, the two wandered around in this unfamiliar Konoha. During this time, they met Sai, who was sketching but had poor painting skills, and Shino, who was spraying insecticide everywhere. Then the two came to the commercial street. Here, Sakura was surrounded by a group of children who admired her. After finally dealing with this group of little fans and sending them away, Naruto looked at Sakura's unstoppable smile and said with a subtle expression, "By the way, Sakura is enjoying the current situation." No, I just played the hero's son reluctantly in order to avoid suspicion." Sakura turned her head away with a guilty look, but under Naruto's questioning, Sakura said the truth with some embarrassment. "To be honest, I am a little happy. Anyway, no danger has been found so far. In fact, it's pretty good here." Hearing this, Naruto loudly emphasized to Sakura's ear that this is a fake world created by Fei, and then turned his head angrily and walked towards the Hokage building, ready to continue collecting information in order to leave this world as soon as possible. Sai, who is a terrible painter, Shino, who hates bugs, and Shikamaru, who hates dogs and becomes a fool. I'm really curious about what methods they use to fight in this world, or how they can become ninjas. No way, at this time, there are still people struggling with the logic of this world. Although it's outrageous and the possibility is very low, if this world is really a new world created by Fei, then this kind of illogical place is very worth studying. Until there is solid evidence, I reserve my opinion on this point. No. Is Sakura a little too relaxed? Even if they haven't encountered any danger for the time being, even if this world is in line with her expectations, she is still influenced by Fei, so shouldn't she be a little more vigilant? Isn't this Fei's real purpose? Through imperceptible brainwashing, he subtly makes them completely integrate into this world, thereby reducing the opponent's combat power. The two came to the Hokage's office. As soon as they walked to the door, they heard Tsunade talking about the Jinchuriki of the Hidden Cloud Village being taken away. Naruto, who thought it was Killer Bee who was in trouble, rushed into the office, and then realized that the person who was taken away was a female Jinchuriki. Lady Tsunade. Shizune hesitated to speak. Tsunade knew what she was worried about and explained, there may be a war in the near future, so there is no need to hide it from them. War? With whom? Sakura was a little curious. Tsunade, who was wearing red glasses and had a flat chest, said the key information. You should have heard that there is a masked man who specializes in collecting various secret techniques and bloodline limits and harasses various countries at will. Holding the fierce-eyed black pig, with surging breasts and bright red lips, Shizune continued, he is an internationally wanted S-class criminal. I didn't expect him to attack the tailed beasts. The possibility of the real world has been reduced again. After all, there are tailed beasts in this world. Indeed, although this world has various illogicalities, using the power of 7-tailed beasts to create 9-tailed beasts. This conversion is impossible for anyone with a normal mind to think about it. Collecting secret techniques and bloodline limits, I remembered Orochimaru. It's still different. According to Fei, the mysterious man wanted to gain the power to conquer the ninja world, which is much simpler than Orochimaru's idea. When did conquering the ninja world become a simple idea? After all, you have seen a lot. Now conquering the ninja world is no longer worthy of everyone's surprise. At most, it's just a little discussion about the ability of the newly emerged ambitious people. I suddenly realized that Tsunade's figure is not right. Wow. Shizune has become so plump, and her lips are quite charming after being painted red. Ha ha ha. Are these two people reversed in figure? Tsunade is really at a loss. Tisk. What a messed up world. No matter what I do, I can't have that figure. Tsunade hugged her hands and slightly lifted her plump chest to express her dissatisfaction with a regrettable figure on the sky. Shizune glanced at the sky screen a little embarrassedly. She didn't expect that she could grow into that kind of figure. It was really embarrassing. The tailed beast and the mask, Sakura, could that guy be? Naruto immediately thought of something, and Sakura is the same. Yes, although there is no Madara in this world, just like you are Menma, Madara may also be another identity. After reaching this conclusion, Naruto asked about the whereabouts of the masked man, and Shizune replied with a depressed face, it's useless, you are not his opponent. Many ninja villages, including us, have surrounded him, but even Master Jiraiya couldn't come back. The lecherous sage. Naruto lowered his eyes slightly, and Tsunade continued, Jiraiya said before his death that there is only one way to defeat the masked man in this world. That is the sealing scroll, the Book of the Red Moon. A familiar voice came from behind. Naruto's pupils trembled slightly and he slowly turned around, only to see Minato and Kushina appear alive in front of him. Dad and Mom are still alive. Naruto muttered in disbelief. As soon as he said this, Kushina rushed forward and knocked Naruto down with a punch. Her red hair was flying and she roared with a ferocious expression, "How can you say such things to your triumphant parents?" He harassed various countries and was besieged by many ninja villages. In this situation, he was able to kill Jiraiya. This new masked man is quite powerful. Why does it sound like he's even more powerful than Nagato who fought Konoha alone? You can't simply substitute the strength of various countries in reality into it. For example, in Konoha in this world, from the changes in Naruto's companions of the same period, it can be seen that the overall strength has definitely declined. Does it mean that the strength of other countries in this world has also weakened, so it gave the mysterious person an opportunity to take advantage of it? Although it's just a guess, it can explain why Shikamaru and his people can still become ninjas after all this. Maybe this is the truth. Here they come. Naruto's parents finally showed up. Tisk tisk, this mother's way of education is a bit hardcore, right? She just uses her fists. Based on the personality shown by Uzumaki Kushina before, it seems that she and Naruto should get along in this way. Chapter 584. Living Parents. Naruto looked at Minato and Kushina on the sky with longing, but immediately pursed his lips and murmured in frustration, "It's just fake." Sakura also thought of this later. Of course, these are not important. The most important thing now is to find out more about the Book of Vermilion Moon. So under Sakura's questioning, Minato briefly described the prophecy of the Great Toad Sage, indicating that the masked man will be defeated by the Book of Vermilion Moon. Sakura then asked about the whereabouts of the Book of Vermilion Moon. Tsunade said it was near the border of the Land of Grass, and then issued a task to Minato and Kushina, asking them to wait for Kakashi and Kai to return to Konoha and go there to retrieve the Book of Vermilion Moon together. "I want to carry out this mission too," Naruto suddenly interrupted. Sakura didn't understand why Naruto was interfering. Naruto frowned and lowered his voice to answer, "How can I give it to others? If we can kill the caster and unlock this spell, can't we return to the original world?" Who knew that Tsunade directly rejected Naruto's request? Fortunately, Minato suddenly took over and pleaded for Naruto. Tsunade reluctantly agreed to this arrangement. Facing Minato's bright smile towards him, Naruto turned his head away with a look of rejection. It's the prophecy of the Great Toad Sage again. Even though the world has changed, Jiraiya still can't get rid of the Toad's prophecy. What is the Book of Vermilion Moon? Does it exist in reality? I've never heard of it. It should be a specialty of that world. Huh? Naruto's attitude is a bit unexpected. Wasn't he looking forward to it before? Why is he a bit repulsive when he really sees his parents? It's too sudden. He's not mentally prepared, especially when he wants to return to his original world. Although he had a brief exchange with his parents through chakra, after all, Naruto has been with them for more than a decade. He has always lived alone, and it is normal to feel a little uncomfortable when a pair of living parents suddenly appear. I am really surprised. I didn't expect your parents. After leaving the Hokage building, Sakura mentioned Naruto's parents. Unexpectedly, Naruto was not happy that his parents were still alive. Instead, he angrily pounded the wall and cursed, "Bada, that bastard." What a joke. He actually made such a fake. After being annoyed for a while, Naruto immediately made up his mind to get the Book of Vermilion Moon as soon as possible, defeat the masked man and leave this world. However, no matter how repulsive he was, Naruto still had to honestly return to his home in this world. Having said that, Naruto would not stop the confrontation. Naruto locked himself in the room and blocked the door with a bunch of debris to prove his resistance to the fake. It turns out that in addition to not being able to adapt, you also feel that a fae has blasphemed your parents. No wonder your face is so bad. It's because you care too much that you can't stand this kind of thing. If you were as heartless as Sakura, it would be easy. I couldn't wait to go home the night before to experience the warmth of my family, but now I'm in a situation of confrontation with my parents. The thoughts of adolescent boys are complicated. Come out, Menma, I told you that dinner is ready. Kushina knocked on the door outside the room, and Naruto shouted in a very aggressive tone, "All right. I told you to leave me alone. Who wants to have fun with you two fakes?" Leaning against the wall, Naruto muttered with a disrespectful look, but this stubbornness lasted less than 2 seconds. As the door exploded, a red figure with a murderous aura walked in. If you want to rebel, you're 100 years too early. The extraordinary pressure made Naruto people were so scared that their eyes rolled back and their faces were covered with sweat. Minato walked out from behind Kushina and said carefully, "Be obedient, Menma, your mother has a nickname called Blood Red Pepper. You can eat now, right?" Kushina asked with veins bulging on her forehead. Naruto nodded repeatedly and was very obedient. "Yes. Haha. I thought Naruto's attitude was so firm, but it turned out to be like this. Tisk tisk, with a mother like this, I think most children would not dare to throw a tantrum. No matter how strong you are, you still have to admit defeat in front of your mother. Your mother's fist is much stronger than the enemy. What do you think, Naruto? This is the family atmosphere you desire, isn't it exactly the same as you imagined?" Ha ha ha. Stop teasing him. But to be honest, this atmosphere does feel like a family. After dinner, although they had to sit down together under pressure, eating, but Naruto still had no intention of getting close to Minato and Kushina. He ignored Minato's voice asking him to clean up the dishes and walked back to his room with a sour face. Then, when he passed by the shelf, he saw an album with the words "Memories of Menma." Naruto subconsciously opened the album. As expected, it was a record of Menma's life from childhood to adulthood, who looked exactly like him. His birth, crying, walking, birthday, school enrollment, and every bit of his time with his parents for more than 10 years were all presented to Naruto in the form of photos. It's rare that you would look through this. Minato walked behind Naruto while wiping the dishes. Naruto immediately put on a fierce expression. "It doesn't matter if you just look at it." But Naruto immediately restrained his expression and couldn't help asking, "Why did you plead with my mother-in-law for me during the day?" Minato smiled as if it was a matter of course and replied, "Because I think you must have a reason for doing so. My son will never make trouble for no reason, right?" As he said that, Minato walked back to the sink, and Naruto opened the album again with a complicated look in his eyes. Strange. It seems that Naruto's parents haven't changed much. Except for not being the fourth Hokage, everything else seems to be the same as in real life. Could it be reflected in their strength? That's impossible. They just took on the mission to retrieve the Book of Vermilion Moon. They must be at least at the level of a Jonin. How weak can they be? Have they really not changed? Would the fourth Hokage in the real world also wash dishes? To be honest, he looks like someone who would do such a thing. Okay, you are so excited about such a small matter. You will know if you read it. Tisk, this album is a big blow to Naruto. Chapter 585. It hurts my heart. This soft knife is much more fierce than a real knife. If Naruto hadn't known from the beginning that all this was fake, he might have sunk here. Naruto bit his lips and finally stopped the urge to cry. Despite this, he couldn't take his eyes off the photo on the sky for a long time. It's so good. In that world. I have been accompanied by my parents since I was a child. The family has always been together. It's so good. In the belly of the god of death, Minato's eyes were a little dazed. If the Nine Tails rebellion had never happened, their family should be living a life like the one on the sky now. Kushina in the Pure Land was even more tearful at this time. Aren't these pictures on the sky the scenes she imagined before she died? Accompanying Naruto and watching him grow up, recording every important day of his growth, the family can eat together every day, quarrel every day, and the excitement at home will never stop. All of this is what Kushina once longed for and desired for the future, and now, the sky is presenting these in front of her in another form. In addition to comforting Kushina's heart, it also makes her feel more distressed and guilty about Naruto. The next day, at the gate of Konoha, the group of people who were carrying out a mission gathered here. Kakashi gave a thumbs up and shouted excitedly, "Okay, everyone. Cheer up." On the contrary, Kai sat on the ground, hanging his head and looking decadent, complaining weakly, "Where's the spirit? There are endless tasks. I am exhausted, my youth has withered." Sakura was speechless because of the role swap between the two, but Naruto was not interested in it at all. He stood far away with a sour face, and even did not give a good face to Kushina who came over to joke. Not to mention Kushina who was unhappy about this, Sakura took the initiative to walk to Naruto and couldn't help but persuade him, "I say, no matter what, you also." "It doesn't matter." Naruto interrupted Sakura's words, turned his head and said coldly, "Anyway, I'm not Menma. Here it comes." It's finally Kakashi's turn. How should I put it? It feels mediocre. I want to see a more energetic Kakashi. Hot-blooded man Kakashi, decadent and negative might guy, weird. Obviously the contrast between the two personalities is quite big. It should be very funny. Probably because Shikamaru, Niji, Rock Lee and Sakuya, that's true. Compared to those people, it doesn't seem difficult to accept that Kakashi has become passionate and Kai has become passive. That's for you outsiders. For those of us who are familiar with these two people, their changes are enough to make fun of them when drinking. Naruto's rejection is stronger than I thought. Tisk, look at the tone of his voice when he said I'm not Menma anyway. The reason he's throwing a tantrum here is not only because of his rejection of the fake, but also because of his envy of Menma. It's normal. Compared with Menma's life, Naruto's life is so bad that he can't lose his temper. The scene changes to the training cave, where two wooden men fall unconscious on the ground. The mysterious man thanks the illusory Ofei beside him for the tailed beast, and then, with Ofei's reminder, he learns that Konoha has begun to make action plans against the Book of Vermilion Moon. In the dense forest, a circular basin is located here. Minato and his party arrive here. The Book of Vermilion Moon is in the bamboo forest in the center of the basin. The Book of Vermilion Moon is just ahead. I think the teacher should have set up a mechanism. Kakashi, you should use your Sharingan to observe it first. Minato instructed Kakashi beside him. Got it. Although I want to say this. Kakashi slowly squatted down, with a tired expression, saying, sorry, I worked too hard and overused my eyes a little. As soon as these words came out, Akai, who was standing behind the two of them, leaned against the tree trunk and slowly sat down, with a visible old look on his face. Actually, I also want to take a break. After all, I am old. Minato had no choice but to let everyone rest for a while, but unexpectedly Naruto took the initiative and rushed to the center of the basin. From the current situation, this mysterious man does not seem to belong to any organization and is a lone ranger. In other words, he is alone. Is it possible to use the power of Konoha to fight against the entire ninja world? Although it is not a direct confrontation, it can be seen that this guy is very powerful. Afei said that he knew everything, so why didn't he let this mysterious person take action in advance to retrieve the Book of Vermilion Moon, and had to wait until Konoha took action before reminding the other party? It is still unknown what Afei's purposes, so why does he need to help the mysterious person wholeheartedly? According to common thinking, Afei and the mysterious person conspired, just to use his power to deal with Naruto. I just don't know what Afei can gain after defeating Naruto in this world. Can he directly take away the Nine Tails? I can see that these people in Konoha are here to make people laugh. It turns out that Kakashi's brain is not that good either. Too hot-blooded to ignore the consumption of chakra. How can you live so long? Why does Kai look so old? Is it because of his negative emotions that he ages faster? Kakashi covered his face to hide the disgust in his eyes. When he saw that himself had become a hot-blooded man, Kakashi already felt uncomfortable and couldn't bear to look at it, but now it seems that this guy seems to be more unreliable than he imagined. Why did he use the Sharingan for no reason? What kind of wrong perception did that guy have about his own chakra? Is it because he is very smart that he has become a complete idiot after being turned upside down? The same person who felt disgusted with himself on the sky was Kai, who is always in youth. It's so ugly. I actually showed such an ugly expression. And what nonsense did he say about youth having faded and being old? Damn it. I absolutely cannot accept such a thing. Akai's eyes were burning with fire, and he was so excited that his nostrils were about to smoke. He shouted, I've decided. Today our training volume will be doubled. I want to prove to myself on the sky that youth will never fade, and his youth will also be left to us to work hard. Yes, Mr. Kai. Xiaoli responded loudly. Nixie looked at the two of them speechlessly, then looked at the sky and said helplessly, whether it is real or imaginary, this character is the same trouble, really. Being a little passive is better than peeping into the women's bathhouse and stealing women's underwear. Xianchin said with a dark face. It seems that the previous plot has made her angry for a long time. Nixie, who suffered an unexpected disaster, was speechless. Now is not the time to relax. Naruto's eyes were cold and his mood was like a suppressed volcano. Although this state made Naruto fearless and brave, it also made him lose the ability to observe calmly. As expected, the trap set by Jiraiya was triggered, and the three brothers Gamabunta were summoned to block Naruto. Seeing this, the others had no choice but to follow suit. Minato took the initiative to step forward and stated his identity and purpose. However, the Maiboku Mountain in this world had no intersection with other Konoha ninjas except Jiraiya, so Bunta would only obey Jiraiya's orders to guard this place, and did not let others past. Naruto still wanted to try to persuade them, but at this time, Bunta had already impatiently spit out a huge cigarette and hit everyone. At this point, Konoha could only force its way in. Then a large group of small toads of various shapes fell from the sky and pressed everyone down. And because of Jiraiya, the group couldn't use heavy hands on these toads, so that everyone couldn't get away for a while. Oh, Minato and Menma in this world didn't sign a summoning contract with Maiboku Mountain. How can Jiraiya be a teacher? Probably because there is no prophecy of the child of prophecy, so it affected Jiraiya's decision. Who knows what he thinks? Well, let's not talk about Naruto and Sakura for now, but the skills of others are indeed weaker than expected. They were suppressed by a group of toads so easily. No, Namake's Minato was actually trapped by this kind of attack. What a joke. Where is Flying Thunder God? He may not know this trick in this world. Perhaps he lacks the key signature ninjutsu, so the fourth Hokage in this world is someone else. To be honest, I don't quite understand Jiraiya's operation. If he could set up such a trap before his death, why didn't he just give the Vermilion Book to the toads and let them send it to Konoha? From the conversation between Bunta and Minato, the relationship between Konoha and Maiboku Mountain in this world doesn't seem to be very close. Without a comprehensive understanding of the background relationship here, it is impossible to analyze the motivations of the character's behavior. Naruto was the first to break free from the suppression of the toads, but was intercepted by Bunta and other toads again while continuing to advance. Naruto tried to condense the fairy chakra to open the situation, but was not only interrupted directly, Bunta also spit out a mouthful of acid at Naruto in midair without mercy. Just when Naruto was calmly preparing to use means to intercept the attack, Kushina flew over and pushed Naruto away, but she herself had no time to dodge and was burned by the acid. Seeing this scene, Minato's face changed slightly. A Flying Thunder God broke free from the suppression and hugged Kushina. After instructing Naruto to take good care of Kushina, Minato threw Flying Thunder God Kunai in all directions, and then easily entered the bamboo forest with a few flashes, and then took out the scroll placed here by Jiraiya, and took the opportunity to unlock the Toad summoning technique. Strange, why did Naruto use Sage Mode? He should be able to use the power of the Nine Tails at this point. Maybe, he doesn't want to use too much force? Maybe it's easier to control the power in Sage Mode. Well, Minato Namikaze can use the Flying Thunder God technique. What the hell was he doing just now? Acting. After watching for so long, it seems that Minato Namikaze's personality has not changed much, and his strength has not weakened. Is he the same in this world as in reality? Could it be because of Naruto and Sakura? Maybe only their parents in this world are special. The mission is completed, Minato returns to join the others, Sakura treats the injured Kushina, and Minato walks to the side with Naruto, saying in a low voice, "Kushina only suffered minor burns, but you should know what I want to say. Leave me alone." Huh? I told you to leave me alone. Stop it. You rushed out on your own initiative and got yourself hurt. I can handle that kind of attack myself. Naruto yelled at Minato hysterically, and then he was slapped in the face by Minato. How can we sit back and do nothing? We want to protect you all the time. It's a conditioned reflex for our bodies to move. This is what parents are. Minato said expressionlessly. Hearing this, Naruto showed an expression of disbelief on his face, turned his head away and kept asking why. Minato didn't understand what Naruto was struggling with, so he pressed Naruto's shoulder and chuckled according to his own understanding and said, "Don't mess around next time. I told Kushina before we set off that I will write you a recommendation letter for Jonin after this mission." As soon as these words came out, Naruto's heart skipped a beat, but before he could feel this emotion, Kushina, who had finished the treatment, intervened in the conversation between the father and son and shouted sternly, "Menma, you are such a kid." Minato was nervous and wanted to defend Naruto. Naruto also thought he would be reprimanded, but he didn't expect Kushina to rush over and hug him directly, saying with a worried tone, "Fortunately, you are not injured." Naruto stupidly felt Kushina's hug, his pupils trembling violently, and after a moment his eyes were completely softened. He slowly raised his hands and hugged Kushina tightly. "Tisk tisk, Naruto, your temper is a bit untenable. Regardless of whether you can handle the enemy's attack, Kushina wants to protect you out of concern. Naruto just doesn't want to get involved with him, but his intense reaction shows that Naruto cares about them. Minato's slap is a response to the punch Naruto gave him in the sealed space before. To be continued, Chapter 586. Write a recommendation letter for Jonin. I can see that this technique of Afehi may not be able to hurt Naruto and the others physically, but it will definitely cause them a considerable impact mentally. The recommendation letter for Jonin is just an introduction. In the final analysis, it is still the longing for family. Look at the look in Naruto's eyes. The group returned to Konoha and handed the Book of Vermilion Moon to Tsunade. Then Kakashi could not wait to propose to immediately form a punitive force to deal with the masked man. However, Tsunade said that the time was not right and the Book of Vermilion Moon could only be opened on the day when the moon turned red. So the team temporarily disbanded, and Naruto and Sakura left the Hokage building together. On the way, Sakura said to Naruto, "I finally got the scroll but I can't act. Besides, I don't quite understand why the moon is dyed red. Let's ask Tsunade tomorrow." Sakura, "I'm sorry, I'll just, today." Naruto, who was absent-minded, didn't pay any attention to what Sakura said. He said goodbye to her with some embarrassment but full of expectation, and walked towards his home in this world without looking back. On the way home, Naruto's steps became faster and faster, and the expectation on his face became more and more obvious. After a while, he walked into the house and crossed the entrance corridor. After standing in front of the living room door and taking a deep breath, he slowly opened the door in front of him. The warm light shone on Naruto. The food was already prepared on the table, and his parents said welcome home. At this moment, Naruto didn't care that this was an illusion created by the enemy. With tears in his eyes, he took the initiative to immerse himself in this warmth. Is this Afehi's purpose? To give Naruto what he wants, and then completely trap him in this world? Naruto is not that stupid, even if he is very longing and eager for his family, but knowing that it is fake, will he still follow the enemy's arrangement? It may be difficult to keep Naruto, but it is very easy to shake his will. If Naruto can be prevented from exerting his strength, it will be easy for Afehi to capture the Nine Tails. In the training cave, the mysterious man learned from Afehi about the progress of the Book of Vermilion Moon in Konoha, and left his seat to prepare for subsequent response actions. Watching the mysterious man leave, Afehi said his thoughts with deep meaning. For those who have been hit by the limited moon reading, the strongest wish in their hearts will be realized in this world in an instant. Therefore, once this world is completed, even I, the creator, cannot reshape it. The purer the desire from the heart, the more irresistible people are, and eventually become captives. At Sakura's home, looking at the table full of her favorite canned food, Sakura knew for the first time what it felt like to be sick, and it was at this moment that Sakura finally felt how cold this home with only one person was. Looking at the photo of herself hanging on the wall of the entrance, Sakura's eyes were complicated. Hero's son, Naruto, have you always felt this way? Sure enough, the world is determined by the wishes of the people who are hit. This is most likely an illusion. Even if it is an illusion, this almost real scene is also amazing. Naruto and Sakura are willing to immerse themselves in it. It's just that they are temporarily blinded. Human thoughts are very complicated. Even wishes may change at any time. Isn't it like this now? Sakura knows that it's not easy to be a hero's child. You can stand this? Naruto's childhood life was much worse than hers. Sakura, who couldn't stand the loneliness, came to the street. Although it was very lively here, she felt more and more lonely when she saw the villagers laughing with their families and friends everywhere on the street. At this time, Sakura saw Sasuke in the crowd. She was delighted and wanted to say hello, but suddenly found that Sasuke was surrounded by several girls, and he took out a red rose with an evil and crazy look on his face and handed it to one of the girls. "Hey Sasuke, you are really faced with a girl's sweet smile." Sasuke naturally hugged the girl into his arms, and said affectionately, "It's true, I will always support you." The words caused the other girls to scream in succession. Seeing Sasuke hugging girls left and right with a playboy look, at this moment, the world in Sakura's eyes seemed to lose color, and she turned away with disappointment. Puff. Cough cough cough. What did I see? Ha ha ha. It turns out that the previous concern for Sakura was not the concern of a warm man for a girl, but the playboy casting a net. Tisk tisk tisk, I didn't expect you to be this kind of Sasuke. You are just the same as Neji and Lee. Oh my god, I can actually see such a dissolute expression on that Sasuke's face. Damn it. Give back that cool Sasuke with a cold face. What the hell is this ruffian Sasuke doing? Sakura looked at Sasuke on the sky with disgust, and muttered, except for the initial pleasure, this world is simply terrible. Sasuke actually became like this. Well, your father and I sacrificed to be happy, and Sasuke-kun became a playboy, which is terrible. Is that what you mean? Hiruno Mibuki glanced at Sakura expressionlessly, then looked at Hiruno Zhao and suggested, the child's father, why don't we go to the orphanage to adopt one, or maybe give birth to another one? This one is useless now. Mom. I just said it casually, don't think of giving up on me. By the way, since Sasuke in this world can develop such a personality, it means that the Uchiha clan should be fine, and the situation may be better than in the real world. Well, if we consider the reverse situation, then Uchiha Itachi in this world is indeed unlikely to do any mission to exterminate the clan. The Uchiha may be the most popular clan in Konoha, although their personalities are a bit exaggerated. Naruto and Sasuke in this world are obviously happier. Sasuke, who was so embarrassed that he wanted to kill someone, was stunned after seeing the last few comments, and then showed a little envy. Itachi has never done those things since he grew up with his parents. If that is the case, it seems that it is not impossible to develop a personality like the one on the screen. Thinking of this, the envy on Sasuke's face instantly turned into disgust. What a joke. No matter what the situation is, Uchiha Sasuke, can't become a playboy. What a shit world. Damn if you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 587. After seeing the falsehood of this world, Sakura changed her mind and came to Menma's house, intending to work with Naruto to find a way to return to the original world. However, when Sakura saw the family of three celebrating Kushina's birthday through the window and saw Naruto's cheerful smile from the heart, Sakura couldn't say anything she wanted to say. It was useless to keep wasting time like this, so Sakura called Naruto out. At the intersection of the two alleys, facing Naruto who had already put herself in this world, Sakura said straight to the point, for Naruto, he really likes this world more. Sakura, really, what are you talking about? Naruto wanted to quibble, but soon he couldn't maintain the awkward smile on his face, and silently agreed with Sakura's statement in his heart. He really liked this world because it had everything he wanted. The two stopped communicating and left in two directions. The voices that sounded afterwards reflected their tangled mood at this time. Naruto, this is my dream, Sakura, but this place, Naruto, I also know that these are illusions, but, Sakura, you are going too far. You have enjoyed the benefits of this world, but now it is Naruto's turn, and you are trying to persuade him to give up and go back quickly. Unlike Sakura's impromptu wish, Naruto's wish will make him sink deeper and deeper, so there's nothing wrong with Sakura's approach in a strict sense, otherwise Naruto will only feel more added emptiness and loneliness. In fact, it's good to feel the warmth of family here. Otherwise, this will always be Naruto's weakness. If it is used by the enemy in the future, it will be even worse. As for the disadvantage of a face trick of limiting Tsukuyomi, because it is known in advance that it is fake, it is not as difficult as imagined to get rid of the influence here. It should be easy to get rid of it when the time comes. It's so simple, how can it be so easy to get rid of it? Naruto looked at the sky with a complicated expression. Even if he knew it was fake in advance, even if he knew that they were not his parents, looking at their faces that were exactly the same as his parents, feeling their unpretentious care and love, how could Naruto, who has always longed for his family, ignore it? Just when Naruto was feeling down, a violent explosion suddenly occurred in the Hokage building. In the ruins, the injured Tsunade covered her arm, looked at the invader in front of her, and gritted her teeth and said, "You are." Surrounded by 9 puppets of different shapes, the mysterious man appeared through the billowing smoke and dust, spread his hands and said to Tsunade, "Thank you for taking that thing back from the barrier. Now, hand over the Book of Vermilion Moon." The belated ninja stood in front of Tsunade and faced a mysterious man. Minato shouted, "Don't even think about getting the Book of Vermilion Moon. Little minions, get out of the way." The mysterious man controlled the puppets to attack, and fought back and forth with a group of Konoha ninjas and even had the upper hand. Seeing the injured Tsunade about to be captured, Minato rushed to rescue her, But the mysterious man seized the opportunity and activated a barrier to trap everyone. Then, under the flying slash of the death god-shaped puppet, the chakra of all the people hit was drained. Hiss. Is the Konoha in this world too weak, or is this masked man really too strong, breaking through to the core of Konoha alone? It's not considered alone, isn't there another 9 puppets? So this guy is a puppeteer. If the world is upside down, then the Sans village in this world might be the #1 ninja village in the ninja world. Awesome. Although it's not him, he actually regards Minato Nameki's, Kakashi and Kai as minions, and it seems that he can actually beat them. Isn't it strange that Jiraiya fell to him? No matter how you think about it, you should consider him as one of the top ninjas in the ninja world. Tsunade in the real world is a heroic female man, but in this world she has become a weak little woman, who doesn't seem to have any ability to fight back. This masked man has many tricks, including puppets, barriers, and chakra extraction, and perhaps other hidden tricks. Could it be that this guy's true identity is Nagato? Unless the Nagato in this world also obtained Uchiha Madara's Samsara Eye, there is no reason to equate him with him just because he has many tricks. This is probably impossible. Yes, don't forget, the Konoha in this world doesn't even know who Madara is. Facing Minato's shocked eyes, the mysterious man once again asked Konoha to hand over the book of vermilion. At this time, Naruto and Sakura also rushed over. After trying to attack without success, Minato told the identity of the intruder and asked Naruto to leave quickly. How could it be? It's not Madara. Sakura saw the difference between the mysterious man and Ifa in his height, appearance and ability. Hearing her words, the mysterious man turned his head and looked at the two of them. Madara, so that's it, you know that man. Although not their main target, Sakura could tell from the mysterious man's tone that he was connected to Fei, so after failing to interrogate him, Sakura attacked the mysterious man without saying a word, but was easily intercepted and knocked to the ground by the puppet controlled by the other party. Because of his mentality, Naruto hesitated for a moment, and was stopped and tied up by another puppet. The mysterious man looked down at Sakura and advised, "Stop it, you are not my opponent." "So what? If you want to leave here, you must defeat Madara, and only I can do it." Sakura propped herself up and stood up again. A true hero will never abandon the world that everyone is desperately protecting, and the village. Sakura attacked again, but was easily captured by the mysterious man because of the difference in strength. Naruto struggled to get out and help. At this time, Kushina, who was trapped in the barrier, shouted in horror, "Run away, Mima. I will never allow you to die before us." Oh, why do I feel that Sakura is a bit desperate? Because she can convince Naruto. She wants to defeat Fei by herself. Naruto was actually influenced by the parents of this world. He hesitated to attack and was countered by the enemy. Chapter 588. What is Sakura talking about? What hero? What guardian? Why is she saying this all of a sudden? It feels like she is secretly admonishing Naruto, telling him not to be confused by this world. Reality is the reality that he needs to protect. What is Kushina talking about? Why does it sound a little wrong to me? Well, as a mother who is worried about her child, this doesn't seem to be a problem, but it does feel a little strange. In the Pure Land, Kushina frowned slightly, and she also noticed something wrong. Even if she really thought so in her heart, Kushina felt that she shouldn't say it so clearly. It seemed a little too nervous. Mom. Naruto looked at Kushina at a loss. At this time, the mysterious man suddenly flashed behind him and hit him hard, saying in a cold tone, "I feel something disgusting from you." As he said, the mysterious man controlled 3 puppets to attack Naruto. Minato saw that the situation was not good, and quickly used Flying Thunder God to save Naruto, and then said that he had made preparations in advance and would never let Jiraiya's relics be taken away by the mysterious man. "Then, you will take the initiative to send it here, and exchange it with this woman's life?" The mysterious man gestured to Sakura, who was captured by the puppet, and then controlled the puppet to disappear on the spot, while he himself condensed a ball of black chakra in his palm and flew high into the sky above Konoha. "This is a parting gift." The mysterious man threw the chakra ball in his hand from the air and shouted the name of the move nonchalantly, "Big Rasengan." A few seconds later, a sky-high explosion occurred in the center of Konoha, and the surging shock wave flattened the entire Konoha with an overwhelming force. Look, because of his mental shake, Naruto's full combat power can't be exerted at all, and he has no power to fight back at all. Sure enough, This is the most correct way to deal with Naruto. Those who use hard-hitting methods to deal with him, which one of them is not knocked down by his sudden burst of power? Spirit and will are the source of Naruto's power. Strange, the methods are obviously similar. Why does Minato Namikaze in this world feel weaker? He has been responding passively from beginning to end. Can't he take the initiative to attack? Fuck. The power of this masked man's ninjutsu is so powerful. It's too big. Konoha was flattened again. After Nagato, someone else has done such a feat. Tisk tisk, another person is fighting against an entire ninja village alone. Jiraiya, why do you always run into such opponents? It's about the same size as the Rasengan, and the name is similar, but its power is too terrifying. Who is this guy? There is no such person in reality. After an unknown amount of time, Naruto slowly woke up amid Kushina's cries. Looking at the devastated Konoha, Naruto quickly got up and anxiously looked for Sakura. Minato, who also saw the tragic situation around him, ignored Naruto's anxious mood and calmly analyzed, "The scroll is still in our hands. The most urgent thing is to regroup and wait for the time to counterattack." As soon as these words came out, Naruto's emotions exploded immediately. "What are you talking about? Don't dawdle, you must save Sakura quickly." "I can't do it, Menma. We are not that good, it is impossible for us to risk our lives for others," Minato said with a face full of shame. Naruto was even more shocked and his expression was a little collapsed. "How can this be? Although we are ninjas, we are no different from ordinary people." Minato's face was very ugly. Naruto wanted to try to argue, but he heard Minato suddenly said in a stern voice, "What if you die? We will worry about you, Menma." Well, this is the difference between the two worlds. Minato Namikaze. It's not about personality or strength, but he's more selfish. The passive response strategy is probably influenced by this point. It's human nature, but I suddenly feel that his charm has decreased. I feel complicated. Maybe it's because the real Minato Namikaze is almost perfect, so I can't accept his selfish behavior. No wonder he's not the fourth Hokage in this world. Compared with the real-life operation of sacrificing Naruto's childhood for the village, his father's identity in this world is obviously more obvious. Tisk, it's hard to say. Jiraiya smacked his lips and looked at the sky with a complicated expression. Unexpectedly I can actually see this side of that nearly perfect disciple. Although I know that this has little to do with their world, Jiraiya has actually thought about it. If Minato was a little less perfect, would he not have sacrificed himself on that night? Things in the world really can't go as we wish. In the belly of the god of death, Minato scratched his head awkwardly. I didn't expect that I in this world would have such thoughts. Can't I risk my life for others? Having said that, Minato would not despise the choice made by himself. Although they are not the same person, Minato believes that since it is himself who made the decision, himself will definitely not regret it, just like he chose to sacrifice himself in the Nine Tails Rebellion. Therefore, Minato would at most not accept his ideas, but he would not despise them in the slightest. Naruto's pupils trembled violently. Looking at Sakura's backpack, he remembered the father who believed in him from beginning to end in the sealed space, the words Sakura said before being captured by the mysterious man, the death battle between the fourth Hokage and Ifehi on the night he was born, his parents who sacrificed themselves to save him and Konoha, and his mother's last words before she died. Thinking of this, Naruto made up his mind, pulled out a flying thunder god kunai from the ground, and said calmly, "I must go." Minato rushed over, with unprecedented fear and panic in his voice, and said sternly, "It doesn't matter if you don't go, you don't have to be a hero." Actually, I'm not from this world." Naruto interrupted Minato's persuasion, "Besides, my name is not Menma, I'm sorry for lying to you." "What are you talking about all of a sudden?" Kushina, who didn't understand, was only panicked, but Naruto ignored her and explained to himself. Chapter 589. My real father is the fourth Hokage, and my mother is the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. They both sacrificed themselves in the original world to protect everyone, the village, and me. Feeling Naruto's resolute attitude, Kushina, who still didn't understand what he was saying, quickly grabbed his hands and begged, "Menma, please, don't leave." Now that he had made a decision, Naruto would naturally not continue to be confused. He gently moved Kushina's hand away. Amid her cries, Naruto took out the fourth Hokage's shadow robe from Sakura's backpack and put it on elegantly. He turned his head and said to Minato and Kushina with high spirits, "Because I am the child of two heroes. Although this technique of Ifehi was generated by the wishes of Naruto and Sakura when they were hit, it can't be perfect. While fulfilling the wish, other regrets appeared. Naruto wanted to feel the warmth of his family, but his parents lost their heroes. Sakura wanted parents who were admired by others, but her parents became heroes and sacrificed themselves. Perhaps this is why Ifehi said this move was a trial work. When he makes up for this, it will probably be a complete form. Compared to being with his family, does Naruto think that his parents' heroic identity is more important? After all, that is the glory of his parents. How can Naruto, as a son, really give it up? After all, it was known from the beginning that it was fake, and it was only a matter of time before he would let it go. Sakura was also the trigger. After all, no matter how much Naruto wanted to stay with his parents, he couldn't really leave her to die. Once he took action, he would either defeat Ifehi and return to his original world, or be defeated by Ifehi to complete some of his plans. Naruto had no other choice. It's so complicated. Naruto forced a smile. The barrage did say the reason why he insisted on taking action, but perhaps only Naruto himself knew it best. In fact, the most fundamental reason was something else. If possible, Naruto actually wanted to drown in that happiness, but Naruto also knew that happiness was not his, but belonged to the man called Mima. Naruto had already noticed this when Minato and Kushina were worried about calling Mima. So, that happiness had nothing to do with Uzumaki Naruto. After all, his name was equally important. What's more, he also had his own happiness. Thinking of this, Naruto touched his belly, and his parents' chakra was sealed in his body. On the other side, Sakura, who was caught in the training cave, slowly woke up. Before she could figure out where she was, the illusory figure of Ifehi emerged from behind her and briefly explained the current situation and the origin of the training cave. After a few words of communication, Naruto, who was tracking them, appeared on the wooden arch bridge in front of the two. He shouted and was about to attack Ifehi, but saw the mysterious man quietly attacking Naruto from the side. Fortunately, Naruto reacted in time and dodged and jumped off the bridge to the water. Hand over the Book of Vermilion Moon. The mysterious man said coldly to Naruto from a superior position. Naruto was not stupid and asked him to release Sakura first. The mysterious man was not surprised to see this, but his tone became even colder. Then I will kill you first and then take the book. Anyway, you must die, because I feel a disgusting breath from you, so I will never let you live. At this time, the 9 tails in Naruto's body suddenly became restless. Naruto, who was completely unexpected, was kicked away by the mysterious man who seized the opportunity. Well, I didn't pay much attention to it before, but now it seems that this mysterious person has a lot of complaints about Naruto. The disgusting aura. If there's anything special about Naruto, it is undoubtedly the 9 tails in his body. The 9 tails is indeed agitated, and it is probably because of this. The 9 tails is agitated, the disgusting aura, another world. Could this mysterious person be the 9 tails Jinchuriki of this world? Well, this makes sense. The war that broke out before by the mysterious person, the fighting power can also be explained. It's disgusting, your existence, and your chakra. Come on, let's make a break. Facing Naruto, the mysterious man formed a seal and launched a ninjutsu, 9-faced Sabaya. Blue, white, red, black, empty, south, north, 3, jade, 9-faced beast. Along with the surge of chakra, a huge spell appeared in the air, and the 9 puppets that attacked Konoha before were summoned one after another in a spell formation with the corresponding words, and then under the control of the mysterious man, they launched an extremely fierce attack on Naruto. Naruto was about to dodge when he saw this, and at this time several chakra lines suddenly came from the side shot at him, pulling Naruto to avoid the attack of the mysterious man. Naruto returned to the shore and looked carefully, and was shocked to find that the one who just attacked was actually Akatsuki's scorpion. And not only him, but other members of Akatsuki, except Ifehi and Zetsu, also appeared on the temple-like building on the shore at the same time. Hey. This is another unexpected development. Akatsuki actually ran out. Everyone is out again. It's not that white thing in disguise again. Why is Uchiha Itachi still standing in the main seat? Who is the boss of you, Akatsuki? How many bosses are there? Well, is no one surprised why Scorpion saved Naruto? Enemy reinforcements. Naruto immediately took a defensive action, but unexpectedly heard Itachi's answer, "Stop, we are here on the commission of the Hokage." Looking at Naruto, who was stunned for a moment, Deidara continued with a smirk. "That means we will help you deal with the masked man, huh?" As soon as the voice fell, accompanied by a strange cry from Hiden, the 8 people of Akatsuki jumped down and each went to meet the puppet of the mysterious man. Hiden rushed straight to the white tiger, Scorpion controlled the puppet to fight against the black tortoise, Kakuzu used the Earth's wrath to contain the Jade Girl, and Kisame went to Nato in the shape of the Grim Reaper. Mercenary group, Akatsuki. The mysterious man said angrily, turned around and rushed towards the training cave. Naruto hurriedly caught up with him and was excited about the current development. Great, Akatsuki has become a companion. It turns out that this group of people have reversed their positions. This development is also interesting. No way, most of these people are not good people. Terrorists who play with explosions, puppeteers who use people as puppets, cult members who believe in evil gods, pacifists who want to bring pain to the world. This group of people can also become positive characters. Chapter 590. It's not really a positive character, it's just an ordinary mercenary organization. Before being exposed, the Akatsuki in our world was active in the black market as a mercenary organization. The reason why people feel a big contrast here is nothing more than the fact that the target of their employment is Konoha. Anyway, the enemy has suddenly become a helper. This feeling of satisfaction can be imagined. No wonder Naruto is so excited. Let's not talk about the position of Akatsuki and others, but their abilities are real. Itachi untied the restraints on Sakura and fell beside her. Afeti looked at his actions indifferently inside. So that's it. Is this also the twisted part of this world? The Hokage actually hired Akatsuki. You look immune to physical attacks, but you are not helpless. Itachi looked at Afeti expressionlessly, staring at him coldly with his Sharingan, and was about to take action. If you want, you can even burn out the flames. It's still as difficult as ever. Not wanting to waste his energy, Afei directly used his eye technique and disappeared on the spot. After confirming that Sakura was safe, Naruto asked Itachi to take good care of her, and he followed a mysterious man into the training cave. In the sky, Tendo Pain and Konan easily tied up 4 puppets, while Deidara rode a clay bird and started an air battle with Suzaku. He defeated his opponent in an explosion in a short moment, and then watched a raccoon cat wearing a white mask fall from the smoke of the explosion. Deidara keenly judged that this was the real body of the puppet. Tisk, even in a different world, Uchiha Itachi is still so powerful, forcing his opponent to retreat with just one look. After all, Afei has suffered from Itachi before, and who knows what other cards he has hidden. What a pity, I thought I would see a dishonest Itachi like Sasuke. Although I don't know who this mysterious man is, but being able to learn the skills of all the members of Akatsuki at the same time, this treatment is already better than the 5 major ninja villages. Although all members are dispatched, it feels like they have only made a little effort. They are not serious at all, and it seems that they are just here to support the scene. Mercenaries who are paid to do things, do you still expect them to fight hard? Entering the training cave, Naruto observed the gears and wooden stakes that filled the entire field of vision. He was kicked by the mysterious man and flew backwards. After this attack, Naruto quickly created a shadow clone to distance himself and absorb natural energy, while his original body and a dozen other shadow clones attacked the mysterious man. Unexpectedly, the mysterious man's skills were more powerful than expected. He easily eliminated Naruto's shadow clones and came to the front of his original body. Not only that, the mysterious man's strength was also extraordinary. Facing a punch from Naruto, who had entered the Sage mode, the mysterious man exuded a stream of black chakra and easily intercepted Naruto's fist with just one hand. While mocking Naruto's human wave tactics, the mysterious man lifted him up with a little force and threw him into the depths of the training cave. Just when Naruto was about to fall into the spike trap, he successfully escaped by relying on the substitution technique. Wow, even Naruto, who entered Sage mode, was easily suppressed. This mysterious man is really strong. Isn't this nonsense? We can see this from the fact that he flattened Konoha with one move. What's more, Jiraiya had already been defeated by him before. Why do you think he can't resist Sage mode? But the situation on the sky is a bit exaggerated. Naruto at this time has already defeated Pain and obtained the chakra of the Nine Tails. The overall combat power should be similar to that of the Fourth Ninja World War. Even so, he is almost powerless to fight back. Is this normal? The mysterious man followed closely and fell on a sharp spike. Looking at Naruto, he said impatiently, "What a tough guy." As he spoke, A ball of black chakra condensed in the palm of the mysterious man. Naruto, not to be outdone, used the Rasen Shuriken. Then the two jumped towards each other and attacked. Outside, along with the explosion of the training cave, the defeated puppets turned into masked raccoons. At this time, in the training cave, Naruto was shocked that the spiral shuriken had not achieved any results. The nine-tailed fox in his body once again erupted in a strong agitation. You are restless, your body. Ha ha ha. You are such a slow guy, the thing in your body has been stirring since just now. The mysterious man laughed sharply, and Naruto gritted his teeth to suppress the restless power of the nine-tailed fox, questioning, you said that my body, how do you know? This is probably the so-called resonance. The aftermath of the collision of the two's moves tore the mysterious man's clothes, and the mask on his face gradually dissolved. Naruto looked at the true face behind the mask in shock. Except for the black hair color, the mysterious man in front of him looked exactly like him. Really, I didn't expect it at all. The mysterious man, or Menma, showed a hideous smile and said with emotion, Hey, what did I see? Oh my god. What's going on? The mysterious man turned out to be Naruto. No. It's not Naruto, it should be Menma. The Menma who originally lived in this world. Good guy. I thought Menma's existence was replaced by Naruto, but it turns out that he also has a corresponding individual in this world, and his personality is reversed, more exaggerated than others. Since Naruto has a corresponding individual in this world, where is Sakura, the hero of this world? Initially, the only person that Faye wanted to cast the spell on was Naruto, and Sakura was just affected by it. Maybe that's why she doesn't have a corresponding individual. No. This is not important now. The key is this blackened Naruto. No, Menma, Tisk, Niji, Lee, Sasuke, etc., at best just became perverts and playboys, but Naruto is the most exaggerated guy, actually thinking about conquering the world. In the past, it was Naruto who stopped others from conquering the world. Now it's finally his turn. Is this why he doesn't allow others to conquer the world? Funny, according to this situation, the next person to stop the conquest of the world will be Naruto. Chapter 591. You forgot one more thing. Jiraiya in this world died at the hands of Menma, too horrifying. I can't imagine how Menma, with Naruto's face, could kill Jiraiya. From the attitude of Myakuzen, Menma in this world might not be Jiraiya's disciple. By the way, when Naruto was looking at the photo album before, wasn't Menma blonde like him? How come his hair turned black? It's probably the influence of some special power. Hey, could Menma's personality change be because of this? It's possible. Otherwise, there's really no reason. Exclamation mark. Naruto, who lives so hard in the real world, did not turn evil, but Menma, who has both parents and a happy family, turned evil. I think this is Menma's nature, because according to Shinmu's usual nature, if there is any special power, it should be revealed at the beginning, and it will not be mentioned at all like now. I think so too. After all, so many people's personalities are reversed, and Naruto's personality is also reversed. This is not surprising. Read on. You will know when you read on, that person is actually, Naruto looked at Shinmu in disbelief. Just now he was envious of Menma's happiness, but in a blink of an eye, Shinmu suddenly revealed that the person who destroyed Konoha and killed Jiraiya was Menma. Why? Why did he do such a thing? There is no reason? Why did he turn a deaf ear to the happiness he dreamed of, and instead thought about conquering the ninja world? Looking at Naruto, whose pupils were shaking violently, Jiraiya gently patted his shoulder, not taking the fact that he was killed by Menma in the sky seriously at all, and comforted him. Don't think too much. No matter how similar those people look to our people, they have little to do with us after all. Don't mistake that person who looks like you for you. After all, you in the sky are also trying to stop him. I'm not thinking of him as me. Naruto was a little dazed, and turned to look at Jiraiya. I just don't understand. He has a father and a mother who love him very much. He also smiles happily in the photos in the album. So why does he do this? Why does he look so hateful? Or is it because that world is the opposite of ours, so he will become like this anyway? Like those people said, this is his nature. Jiraiya thought for a while and said, I don't know what he went through when he was growing up, but I think no one's nature is inherently evil, so he must have encountered something very painful to become like this. Not to mention Naruto's complicated mood at this time, When the blackened Menma appeared on the screen, those who cared about Naruto almost widened their eyes at the same time, and several of them even thought they were dazzled and saw such an outrageous picture. Minato, Naruto, has turned into a bad guy. Kushina, no. How come Minato and I are alive but we haven't helped Naruto? No, Menma taught him well. Kakashi, are you kidding me? Iruka, that Naruto actually. Hinata, Naruto-kun. Shikamaru, this is even more exaggerated than I turning into a fool. Sakura, oh my god. What kind of development is this? Sasuke, huh. Ridiculous. The aftermath of the attack dissipated, and the two fell to the ground that had been completely flattened. Menma held his knees and panted, sneered a few times, and then I didn't expect that there would be someone like me in this world. But that's why I can't stand it. Just because you exist makes my hair stand on end. Menma's expression gradually became ferocious, and his face was filled with murderous intent that Naruto had never seen before. He roared loudly, I will completely wipe you out. So under Menma's control, all the puppets that turned into raccoon cats suddenly flew into the sky and rushed into Menma's body. As soon as this change was over, Menma sneered and raised his head to reveal a pair of animal eyes, and then roared to the sky, accompanied by an explosion. The darker color nine-tail emerged from the smoke and dust, and under the command of Menma above its head, it pounced on Naruto without saying a word. Tisk tisk tisk, even though it's not Naruto, it's really unexpected to see such a hateful expression on that face. Menma is really cruel. Is he so murderous just because Naruto looks like him? It's a bit weird. Is it because Naruto moved into his house as Menma before? Judging from the photos in the album, Menma doesn't seem to have no feelings for his parents. Well, although I can barely accept Menma's darkening, I still feel that there are still many illogical places. For example, how can he disguise himself in Konoha while wreaking havoc in the entire ninja world, collecting bloodline limits and secret techniques? It's really outrageous. As parents, Minato and Kushina didn't even notice that their child was abnormal, so Naruto was able to integrate into their family so smoothly. Namake's Minato actually said to Naruto, my son won't do unreasonable things. This guy knows nothing about his son. But the problem is that their concern and love are not fake at all. Why don't they understand Menma at all? Maybe this is the reason why Menma turned dark? Well, Menma in this world is indeed the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki. This may be the reason why he turned evil. After all, the Nine-Tails was originally a collection of hatred, and this world does not seem to have the prophecy of the Child of Prophecy. Putting aside the idea of turning evil, Menma's development of the Nine-Tails power is obviously much higher than Naruto's. He can actually separate the Nine-Tails power and turn it into a puppet to control it. At present, it seems that Menma has a greater chance of winning. Naruto has always relied on the Nine-Tails, but this time the enemy is on the same starting line as him. Sakura also took this opportunity to see Menma's appearance and said in shock, he looks the same as Naruto. Is he the Jinchuriki of this world? The nine-tailed beast is the most powerful and purest form of hatred among the tailed beasts. If two nine-tailed beasts meet, they will inevitably fight to the death. So, what will be the result? Floating in the air, Afei looked at the confrontation below with expectation. Chapter 592. This guy is targeting me. Everyone, get out of here. Naruto shouted to Akatsuki and Sakura, and then fought the nine-tails again. Sakura looked anxious and wanted to help, but was pulled back by Itachi. Kakuzu explained, if you continue to interfere, it will exceed the contract. We didn't get that much money. Why is this happening? Sakura was about to struggle, but was picked up by Itachi. Together with Kakuzu, the three of them jumped onto Deidara's clay dragon to distance themselves. PFFT, this is Naruto's usual character. Even if it's Akatsuki, as long as he recognizes it, he can care about the other party without any scruples. I think with Akatsuki's ability, Naruto doesn't really need to worry about it. Kakuzu is still more realistic. In an employment relationship, just talk about money, forget about feelings. Kakuzu still likes money, but at least his professional ethics are much better than those people who destroy the market in Konoha. He does as much as he is paid, and won't take on work that is not part of the mission. He is simply a role model in the market. Isn't this nonsense? Why should I do extra work if I don't get paid? I can complete a few more missions with that time. Kakuzu muttered while pulling out a hand knife from the chest of the target of the mission. Even at the moment when the 5 major countries have stepped up their wanted efforts, Kakuzu has no intention of stopping making money, because this is the ninja way he cannot give up. In order to restrict the Nine Tails' movements, Naruto entered the training cave again. The Nine Tails followed closely and broke through the mountain wall, landing in a cave with a lake. At this time, Naruto was ready to go. The Sage Mode, Shadow Clone, and Rasengan filled the space above the cave, but they were all destroyed by the roar of the Nine Tails. Naruto was also hit by the strong impact and fell into the lake. Damn it. During the sinking process, the voice of the Nine Tails came into Naruto's mind. What are you doing? You were defeated by that kind of fake. Shut up. The counterattack is just about to begin. Release the Tail Beast mode. In the sealed space, Naruto choked with an unconvinced look, and then prepared to use the Tail Beast chakra that he had just taken from the Nine Tails not long ago. Are you stupid? Although he is a fake, he is also a Nine Tails like me. How can you fight when you can only use part of the chakra taken from me? The voice of the Nine Tails was as low as usual, but this time there was no malice in it. Exchange with me, Naruto, I will fight next. HMPH, I won't be fooled. I know what you are planning. I don't want to give my body to you. Naruto said stubbornly, and the Nine Tails slowed down his tone again. HMPH, it's still so annoying. Unhappy kid, but I am more unhappy with Uchiha Madara than you. If you die, I am afraid I will be trapped in this fake world. If this is the purpose of that guy, I don't want to surrender obediently. Just for this special case, I will lend you my power. Enemy and enemy are companions. Naruto got up from the ground and made a decision reluctantly. I know, just this time, let's fight together this time. As he said, Naruto raised his hand and twisted his abdomen, directly opening the sealed door. I didn't expect to see such a scene, Naruto fighting himself, and the intensity of the battle is so high. This guy is no longer satisfied with other opponents, and has begun to set his sights on himself. Funny, Naruto and Menma fight, Nine Tails fight Nine Tails, it's as expected. It's foreseeable that the Nine Tails will attack, but Naruto actually unsealed it directly. Isn't he afraid that he won't be able to reseal it after the fight? It turns out that before the Fourth War, Naruto had unsealed it before. Yin and Nine Tails fought side by side. Strange, the Fourth War of the Tailed Beasts, judging from the atmosphere at that time, it should be the first time that Naruto fought side by side with Nine Tails. Here I always feel a little. Why is Nine Tails so arrogant? It was the same during the Fourth War. He wanted to help, but his words were always so awkward. HMPH. Although I don't know what happened, I must have agreed to cooperate with the kid reluctantly. Nine Tails snorted coldly and said in an unhappy tone. While looking at the sky curtain, Naruto immersed his attention in the sealed space, squinting his eyes and looking at Nine Tails with a subtle expression. Really, can't you be a little more frank? Even if I'm not very smart, but we cooperated twice on the sky curtain, and the reasons you gave seem to be the same. Stop talking nonsense. Don't think that you are the child of prophecy recognized by the old man of the six paths, so you think you know my mind. Believe it or not, I will eat you, kid. The nine-tailed fox roared with bared teeth. Although its attitude was fierce, Naruto did not feel the malice of the nine-tailed fox at all. He knew that it was just angry and embarrassed, so he wisely did not continue to mention this topic and turned his attention back to the sky. After releasing the seal, the nine-tailed fox did not break its promise. It rushed out of the lake and bit the hind legs of the black nine-tailed fox and threw it away. Naruto learned from Menma to ride on the head of the nine-tailed fox, allowing it to run fiercely on the lake and bite the black nine-tailed fox on the opposite side. The nine-tailed fox was bitten on the front limbs and pulled into the water. The black nine-tail took the opportunity to distance itself and fired small-tailed beast balls one after another. Seeing this, the nine-tailed fox they dodged and exchanged the same attack. A tailed beast ball shot through the mountain wall and shot out. Then the two nine-tails rushed out of the training cave, rushed towards each other and collided fiercely. Naruto and Menma also jumped up and punched each other with a roar. Naruto turned his head to avoid Menma's fist, and then punched the opponent in the face and knocked him away. Similarly, the black nine-tail was also slightly inferior and was knocked away by the nine-tail. With the disappearance of the two nine-tails, Naruto and Menma fell from the air. It seems that the strength is equal. In this case, the advantage is still on Menma's side. By the way, Naruto's nine-tail in the body is only half of the original one. Judging from the situation that the two sides are evenly matched, Menma is in the same situation. Where is the other half of the nine-tail in this world? It should still be in Kushina's body. Maybe half of it accidentally ran out when she gave birth, and then it was sealed in Menma. Huh? What happened? How did Naruto suddenly hit Menma? He was clearly at a disadvantage even before entering Sage Mode, although I knew Naruto would win. This win was too inexplicable. Chapter 593. After Menma's identity was exposed, his fighting power plummeted. Logically speaking, his killing intent was so strong that even if his strength would not increase, it would not drop so much. The change before and after this happened to the Nine Tails. Maybe Menma released the Nine Tails, so he could not continue to absorb the Nine Tails' power to strengthen himself. By the way, if the two of them directly released the Nine Tails to fight, wouldn't it be considered losing the Tail Beast? This fighting mode is also different from the later Tail Beast transformation. Since they are still alive, it means that the relationship between the Tail Beast and them has not been cut off. Although the two Nine Tails here look like entities, don't forget that the Tail Beast itself is a kind of chakra life form, so here it can actually be seen as two Nine Tails chakra fighting. Menma was knocked down like this? It feels much easier than when Naruto dealt with other enemies. Not long after, Naruto woke up, but Menma was still in a coma. At this time, a Fetty floated in the air beside Menma, looked at Naruto below and said, "Although I expected it, the winner is still you. But this battle is beyond my expectations. I didn't expect that you and the Nine Tails would cooperate so closely. The next step is to defeat you." Naruto got up from the ground and said seriously. Seeing this, a Fetty responded calmly, "You don't seem to understand your situation." As he said, a Fetty directly merged into Menma's body, controlling Menma's body to stand up, the resonance between the Nine Tails and the Nine Tails, and after this fierce battle, at this moment, the seal in your body is unprecedentedly fragile. Without wrong, it's exactly the same as that time. Afei turned his head and sneered. The Sharingan in his right eye stared coldly at Naruto, and felt the power of the Sharingan, and the Nine Tails' voice was a little anxious. "Oh no. Run away, Naruto." "What's wrong?" Naruto asked puzzledly, and the Nine Tails explained quickly, "Because he has no entity, I was careless. It turns out that there's this trick. This is the eye technique, Naruto. If this goes on, it will be the same as Kushina at that time. I will be forcibly pulled out." Why does Afei think Naruto will win? Obviously, Menma showed stronger strength, but he lost inexplicably. I really want to know who Menma's teacher is. If it's not Jiraiya, how did he develop the kind of moves that can destroy Konoha in one blow? With his disguised identity judging from the situation of secretly doing things, it is possible that this strength is really figured out by Menma himself, because you see, isn't the real Naruto always considered to be a loser and a fool? If the situation is reversed, shouldn't Menma be a genius? Perhaps in addition to the hatred of the Nine Tails, the reason why Menma turned evil is also related to his excessively excellent talent. Next is Afei. Does he need to use the body here to act in this world? Forcefully extract the Nine Tails? This is indeed Afei's purpose. Without giving Naruto time to react, Afei directly launched an attack. From the Nine Tails, he learned that as long as he looked into the Sharingan, he would be hit. Therefore, Naruto could only control his sight on the opponent's torso and dodge Afei's increasingly fierce attacks with his hands and feet tied. Damn it. If this goes on, Naruto was kicked away without noticing. He quickly thought of a countermeasure. When he saw the red moon rising slowly from behind Afei, Naruto suddenly remembered the prophecy of the Book of the Red Moon. He hurriedly took out the scroll and prepared to open it, but Afei seized the opportunity, cut off the scroll directly with a close combat, and took the opportunity to let the Sharingan appear in Naruto's eyes. Forget everything. The nine-tailed demon fox belongs to me. Looking at Naruto lying on the ground with lifeless eyes, Afei activated his pupil technique to control the tail beast's chakra to flow out of Naruto's body, and said coldly, "You have no hope." Does Naruto have no resistance to illusions at all? He knelt too quickly. After all, it is a pupil technique against the tailed beasts. It is normal that Naruto has no power to resist without prior preparation. By the way, is the prophecy of the Book of Vermilion Moon so restrictive that you must wait until the red moon appears before reading it? Can't you read the content first, and then activate it directly when the red moon appears? Prophecy is such a mysterious thing, who knows what's going on inside? Sakura fell from the sky and kicked down heavily, interrupting Afei's control of the power of the tailed beast. Afei was not in a hurry and bluntly stated that he had erased Naruto's memory, and then attacked Sakura, preparing to deal with her before coming back to deal with Naruto. What am I doing now? Naruto lay on the ground, his lifeless eyes looking at Sakura and Afei who were fighting in a ball, his thoughts in his mind almost stagnated. Speaking of which, who am I? While maintaining his few thoughts, Naruto's sight gradually focused on the Book of Vermilion Moon, looking at the round side of the scroll rolled up. In a trance, Naruto seemed to see a blue chakra ball, and then the figure of a white-haired man emerged. The scenes of Jiraiya guiding him to practice the Rasengan appeared one after another, followed by the creator of this move, his father, the fourth-generation Hokage Minato Namikaze performing the Rasengan. Thinking of this, Naruto instantly regained consciousness. Sakura can still be relied upon at critical moments, although most of the time she always makes irrational moves due to her emotions. So this is how the Book of Vermilion is used. What's important is not the content inside, but the side of this circle. Why is the prophecy of this world related to Naruto in the real world? It's too outrageous. So the prophecy is magical, and it was actually realized in this way. Well, how should I put it? This is the first time I've seen an illusion dispelled in this way. It always feels a bit outrageous, but when I think about this happening to Naruto, it suddenly seems to make sense. Sakura maneuvered for a while, and was accidentally kicked out by Afei. Fortunately, she was rescued in time by Naruto who regained consciousness and did not suffer too much damage. I didn't expect you to be able to stand up. Afei paused his attack and sneered. Naruto took a few steps forward with a firm look in his eyes. How could I forget this Rasengan and its extremely important name that I inherited from my master? If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 594. While casting the Rasengan, Naruto shouted to Faye, "The book written by the master is called the Book of the Ninja, and the name chosen by the two heroes is my name." Facing Naruto's high-spirited smile, Faye sneered, "Release the tailed beast, and then turn into ashes in this world." After the words fell, the two rushed towards each other head-on. Naruto threw a kunai through Faye's body, and then suddenly jumped up when he was about to hide him, and the Rasengan in his hand hit Faye's back fiercely, just like the action of the fourth Hokage. Even if while his memories are erased, it still can't stop Naruto from gaining strength from his memories. Is he too stubborn, or is Jiraiya and his parents' influence on him too great? This kind of question is irrelevant. It's been so long, and we should get used to his incredibleness. Well, it seems that Afei's skills have regressed. He was hit by the same attack for the second time, and this time his opponent doesn't even know the Flying Thunder God technique. Because he used Menma's body, he was careless. Well done. You are so arrogant. Watch me use my father's moves to teach you a lesson. Naruto shouted excitedly with his fists. Jiraiya looked at the sky with admiration, but said unceremoniously, "That's just a coincidence that you can hit the enemy. If you want to be like Minato, you still have to work hard HMPH. You don't need to tell me, I will surpass my father sooner or later. In order to surpass the successive Hokage, how could I miss him?" Menma's body was blown away by Naruto's attack, but this did not help Afei who was hiding in Menma's body. His illusory figure floated out of Menma's body, and he took out a chain and said with emotion, "It has been 16 years since I was hit by this technique last time. But this time." As he said, Afei flew towards Naruto, who was exhausted, but was blocked by Minato and Kushina who came just before him. Looking at the backs of the two, Naruto was a little at a loss. "Why did you two? I don't know who you really are, but I feel that you are not an outsider," Minato answered without looking back. In this situation, Afei calmly judged that there was no chance to seize the Nine Tails, so he gave up the intention to continue fighting and let the kunai thrown by Naruto hit his Sharingan. With the sound of shattering glass, Afei disappeared in front of the group. Hey! Afei in this state can also exert influence on this world. It's very similar to his eye technique, switching back and forth between reality and illusion. What's wrong with Konoha in this world? Only 2 people have come to support so far, and they may have come on their own initiative. Don't expect a ninja village that needs to hire mercenaries to do anything. Naruto's attack on Afei, is this to cancel Afei's ninjutsu? Huh? So simple? There are no other steps. Although if Faye can't catch the Nine Tails, if he dodges Naruto's attack, will he really trap the two of them in this world? Not to mention that this approach goes against a Faye's purpose. According to my analysis, a Faye can no longer maintain the effect of the ninjutsu, so he allowed Naruto's attack to hide him. After repelling the enemy, Minato turned around and asked about a Faye's identity. Naruto told him the truth, saying that the other party was the mastermind who brought him to this world. At this time, Menma's body radiated a green light. After a slight hesitation, Kushina rushed forward and hugged him. Menma's black hair quickly faded and turned back to gold. Minato saw this change and then turned his head to look at Naruto. So, Naruto turned his back to them and looked at the white light radiating from him and Sakura. Minato, who had understood the whole thing, knew what this meant and had a complicated expression. Let's go back to your original world. We are going to say goodbye. Kushina's eyes also had unspeakable emotions. Listening to what the two said, Naruto bit his lip, but soon showed a relieved smile. Thank you for coming to save me. In addition, although the time was short, I am still very grateful to you too. Naruto's voice was a little tearful. To be honest, this kind of thing is the first time I have experienced it since I was born. Thank you for cooking for me, worrying about me, getting angry with me, and living a healthy life. Really. Thank you very much. Minato looked deeply at Kushina, who shed tears silently. With a flash of dazzling white light, Naruto and Sakura left this world. Ah, they are not my parents after all. They went back as soon as the real ones appeared. Seeing this, I still can't help but ask, Namikaze Minato and Uzumaki Kushina, how did you two teach your children? Naruto, who lost his parents, the hero of Konoha, the child of prophecy, the one who creates peace. Menma, who has both parents, destroyed Konoha, was ambitious, and ravaged the ninja world. No matter how you look at it, it seems problematic. Menma's black hair disappeared. He must have been affected by some strange power. But it can be regarded as a wish of Naruto. In the future, the enemy will not use this to attack him. Just go back like this. I still want to see Menma's interaction with Naruto after he wakes up. It's over. This dreamlike world. Naruto pursed his lips and touched his belly with a lonely expression. In the belly of the god of death, Minato sighed softly. It is indeed a good thing to be able to fulfill one's wish, but it is also because of the warmth of his family that Naruto may feel more lonely in the future. In the Pure Land, Kushina wiped away the tears from the corners of her eyes. Listening to what Naruto said to himself and Minato on the sky, Kushina felt empathy and felt distressed for Naruto's understanding. The two returned to the park where they started. Looking at the portrait of Minato Namikaze on the Shadow Rock, they confirmed that they had returned to their original world. At this time, Naruto's shadow robe turned into a phantom and disappeared. After Naruto calmed down for a while, he smiled and said, I'm back to our world. What a pity. We were just a little bit away from getting the Nine Tails. Black and White Zetsu looked at a broken glass ball in his hand with regret. A face standing on the bridge thought of Naruto, who had survived a desperate situation before, and said intriguingly, huh? I didn't expect that kind of prophecy would come true. The scene changed to the Hokage's office. Naruto and Sakura reported all the previous experiences. Kakashi, who was standing by, guessed that Faye used some kind of space-time ninjutsu based on their descriptions in order to avoid causing panic. Tsunade asked the two to keep the matter secret for the time being. Then Shizu mentioned the recommendation letters for Jonin submitted by Zyuoqiang's parents. Tsunade's answer to this was to reject them all. Hey! The fourth Hokage's shadow robe followed Naruto back to the real world, although it only existed for a while. Are we going to discuss whether that world is real or not again? Forget it. No matter how much we discuss it, as long as Faye doesn't explain the principle of the technique clearly, only he knows the truth. But listen to Kakashi's judgment. He thinks Faye's technique is a space-time ninjutsu, and he didn't say it was an illusion. He only listened to Naruto and the others' description. How can he understand it better than those of us who have seen it from beginning to end? It's hard to say. Sometimes the more you know, the easier it is to get stuck in a dead end. In the end, Naruto's friends of the same period failed to become Jonin. Isn't this nonsense? Just repelling a group of disguised Akatsuki, you want to be promoted with this achievement. Do you really think anyone can be a Jonin? Chapter 595. The matter was settled. Naruto and Sakura left together. Just then, Sakura's parents came over because they were worried about her. Seeing her father who was still not serious and her mother who was nagging, Sakura couldn't help crying and rushed forward to hug them, crying and apologizing to them. Looking at this scene, Naruto smiled slightly. Then he said goodbye to Sakura's family and returned to the front door of his house in the company of loneliness. Just as Naruto sighed and was about to walk into this empty house, he found that the light in the living room was on after opening the door. "Where have you been? I've been looking for you for so long." Looking at Iruka sitting at the dining table, Naruto couldn't help but widen his eyes. "Teacher Iruka, how could you?" "Well, how should I put it, I think I was a little too much before." Iruka scratched his face embarrassedly, then picked up the cake on the table and said with a smile, "Well, just eat this, huh?" Naruto's pupils trembled slightly, and tears couldn't stop falling. Seeing this, Iruka was stunned at first, then smiled and said gently, "Welcome back, Naruto." Naruto wiped his tears, smiled brightly and walked towards the other party. "I'm back. Sakura is fine, she has untied her knot and returned to her parents, and Naruto, after feeling the warmth of his family, has to return to that lonely home." Although I envied Naruto several times and envied his future strength, looking at these on the sky, I realized how difficult it was for Naruto. "Hey, Iruka. How did he get into Naruto's house? Please, don't joke at this time, can't you see that Naruto is almost moved to death?" "Father, why does Naruto regard Iruka as his father?" "This is the reason. To be honest, Iruka didn't consider. Have you ever considered adopting Naruto? Even if they are not related by blood, the relationship between them is almost like that of a family. Considering Iruka's age, it's a bit of a stretch to call him Naruto's father, but there's nothing wrong with him being the eldest brother. Whether it's the eldest brother or the father, it's because Iruka has always been holding Naruto's back that he hasn't turned evil like Menma." "That's true. Naruto always mentions Iruka every time he recalls. If there was no Iruka, there might really be no Naruto on the sky screen. I'm embarrassed to say that." Facing the gazes of other teachers in the office, Iruka scratched his head embarrassedly. However, Iruka couldn't help feeling proud to be the spiritual sustenance of the savior as a Chunin teacher. Naruto sniffed and smiled naturally. It is because of these people who care about him that Naruto always has the courage to face and overcome no matter how lonely he feels, and he will be the Uzumaki Naruto who holds a beautiful fantasy about the world. The second story ends, and the third story begins. Sakura, who lost her memory, regains her memory after a lot of chaos with the help of Ino and other friends, and finally returns to the other world. So, the world of limited Tsukuyomi is real. This amnesiac Sakura came from that world. No way, how can it be true? The evidence is all there, what else is there to question? This amnesiac Sakura's doubts about Tsunade and Shizun's chest size, thinking Sasuke is a lazy man, thinking Kiba likes cats, thinking Shino hates bugs, thinking Shikamaru is a fool, thinking Niji and Rock Lee are perverts. Which one doesn't correspond to the world of limited Tsukuyomi? Did someone raise the question before, saying that there is a corresponding individual of Naruto in that world? Then where did Sakura go? Now it seems that she came to this world. But it's true, it doesn't make sense. With the power of 7-tailed beasts, a world with 9-tailed beasts was created. No matter how you convert it, it doesn't make sense. That world is real, but it may not be created by Fae. What do you mean? Have you heard of parallel worlds? It means that in addition to our world, there are worlds that are similar to ours but not the same. Fae's limited Tsukuyomi may have just teleported Naruto and his friends to such a parallel world. It's just because that world corresponds to Naruto and his friends' wishes, so Fae mistakenly thought he created it. It's so complicated. Traveling through the world shouldn't be such a simple thing. At least it's much easier than creating a world, parallel world. This is probably the correct answer. In fact, I found some things wrong before, and now it seems that parallel worlds can also explain it. It is known that when Pain invaded Konoha, he used a move called Shinra Tensei to dig a huge pit in Konoha, and the time point when Ifedi used the limited Tsukuyomi was not long after that, but Konoha at that time actually looked fine, without any signs of invasion. The same is true when Naruto was captured in Kazuna Castle. The time point there was also after Pain's invasion, but Konoha was also fine, so I have reason to suspect that the above 3 stories actually happened in 3 different parallel worlds, but the changes were not as big as the world of limited Tsukuyomi. So, the story of the Sky Curtain is not the future of our world, but just a possibility. I was wondering why the entire ninja world was plagued by disasters in the next few years, and why so many ambitious people appeared. So this is the reason. So the fourth ninja world war may not be our future. I think it's better not to be too optimistic. From the current information, most of the people, objects and events that appeared on the sky curtain have traces in our world, and Naruto does have the identity of the child of prophecy, so even if it is different from the sky curtain, don't expect the future to be smooth and no disasters will happen. In the quarrel about topics related to parallel worlds, the third story ended, and the sky curtain showed the keywords for the next issue. Start extracting keywords for the next issue. Keywords extracted based on speeches in this issue, randomly selected, confirmed. Keywords for the next issue, growth responsibility, chapter 596. The confirmation of the parallel world has given the intelligence teams of the ninja world an additional task of collecting and analyzing intelligence. However, since this situation involves a high level, it can be expected that no valuable results can be expected in a short period of time. Despite this, the 5 major ninja villages have once again increased their investment in the Gray Research Institute. Thanks to this cooperation, those ambitious people in the ninja world who originally had inexplicable thoughts have temporarily stopped their activities and waited and watched the situation in the ninja world, fearing that their ambitions would suddenly be exposed by the sky and thus attracted joint attack from the 5 major countries. Of course, the above description has limited impact on those boss-level characters. Orochimaru took advantage of the olive branch thrown by Konoha to carry out scientific research in a hurry. The 2 Uchiha who took the initiative to come to him and coveted him for a long time, plus the Uchiha Shin who showed value at hand in his original research project, made Orochimaru enjoy it and completely immersed in it. As usual, Nagato guarded the Hidden Rain village, while letting his men collect intelligence all over the world, and constantly corresponded with Jiraiya, hoping to come up with an effective peace plan through a large amount of data analysis, instead of just holding on to the idea that he would have a bright future like Naruto. As the first person identified as the son of prophecy by Jiraiya, Jiraiya did not deny Nagato's idea of finding peace, even though he had been on the wrong path. Therefore, in the letter he sent, Jiraiya shared his thoughts and insights generated during the journey with Nagato without reservation, helping him find a specific implementation plan for peace and helping Naruto open up the right way forward. Since the truth of the parallel world was revealed, especially when he learned that the person who developed the relevant ninjutsu is himself in the parallel world, Afei devoted all his energy to research in this area. Of course, this does not mean that Afei gave up the idea of the tailed beast, because even if this technique was successfully developed, the huge chakra required to activate this technique also needed the support of the tailed beast. Now, except for the 3 tails sealed in the Kamui space, even if the 6 tails and 7 tails in the outer path demon statue are taken away by hidden means, they are still far from the standard of launching ninjutsu. Therefore, in terms of the tailed beasts, it is impossible for Afei to stop the plan of capturing. Before he thinks of a reliable way, he does not plan to continue to be active in the ninja world for the time being. However, this makes it difficult for Black Zetsu who is looking for Afei everywhere. Unlike Afei, Black Zetsu does not plan to change the world and start his plan again. The only way he can go is to gather the power of the 9-tailed beasts and then use the Samsara Eye to perform the infinite moon reading to revive Kaguya. Therefore, with limited power, it is extremely in need of helpers to capture the tailed beasts. With Uchiha Madara already dead, Afei is the best chess piece on hand. But now this guy has no idea where he is hiding because his plan failed, and the plan to revive Kaguya may be exposed by Shinmu at any time, which makes Black Zetsu feel anxious. Because this not only means that it will lose Uchiha Madara, the sacrifice for resurrecting Kaguya, but also completely expose its existence to the entire ninja world. In the case of a deliberate search, Heiju is not sure whether he will have the opportunity to wait for 1,000 years to arrange a new plan. It can be said that whether Kaguya can be resurrected or not depends entirely on what he can do in the next period of time. In such an environment, the ninja world continues to maintain its surface calm, and Naruto has also grown rapidly in a large number of training and tasks. Half a year has passed like this. The Big Ball Rasengan and Rasenshuriken have been mastered one after another. Although the latter is not very proficient, it can also become a key blow when necessary. The communication with the 9 tails is intermittent. According to the standard of the 9 tails self-perception, Naruto cannot bear the hatred in its chakra for the time being, but under the effect of the seal, Naruto can at most maintain consciousness under the power of the 9 tails with 4 tails, which is considered to be a further development and application of the power of the 9 tails. As for the Sage mode, there is no result for the time being. After all, this is not the chakra of the tailed beasts, and the natural energy will not cooperate with Naruto like the 9 tails. If one is not careful, he will really become a stone toad. In the past 6 months, the sky screen has also been screened twice as usual. One is the Chunin exams participated in by the Konoha Zyokiangs, and the performance in various tasks after growing up, including a battle between Ino Shikajo and Edo Asuma. The content of the second one is a bit unserious. First, Konoha held an inexplicable sports meeting. Thanks to the understanding of parallel worlds, everyone knows that this story probably takes place in a parallel world, but this story there is nothing worth exploring in itself, except that it lets everyone know that Naruto has a strong ability to hold his poop. Then there is the story of Konoha's little strong men working together to explore Kakashi's true face. The only point worth exploring in this story is that Kakashi's true face is neither thick lips nor buck teeth, but a handsome guy with a beauty mole. Finally, Sasuke, as a father, showed his awkward performance when getting along with his daughter, which also let everyone know that this guy is a steel straight man who calls Little Peanut as a nickname. That is, Sarada has grown up, otherwise this kind of father should be packed and given to others. After 2 screenings, the sky curtain is still across the sky as usual, and I don't know when the ninja world will be able to figure out the principle behind it. On this day, Jiraiya and Naruto came to the ruins of Laolin in the Kingdom of Wind. Entrusted by the research institute established here, they hope that Naruto can try to sense the dragon vein to see if he can mobilize the power of the dragon vein, or resonate with the power of the 4th generation of Hokage to stimulate some special changes. However, it turns out that although Naruto on the Sky Curtain traveled through time through the dragon vein, for the 13-year-old Naruto now, this place is just a ruin that steals a huge energy, and the title of the Child of Prophecy is nothing special here. After the attempt failed and resting for 2 days in the institute, Jiraiya and Naruto set out on the journey again. There are only 2 months left before the competition with Sasuke. I thought I could go back to the past and see my dad. Naruto held the back of his head with both hands, looked up at the clear sky, and looked disappointed. I have thought about how to scare him at that time, such as turning into his appearance and appearing in front of him, telling him that I am the future 4th Hokage, or pretending to be his enemy, and then let him reveal my identity. Chapter 597. You bastard. You don't remember a word of what I said before I asked you to approach the dragon vein, right? Jiraiya said angrily. Time is a very complicated thing. Even if you really go back to see Minato, you can't say anything about the future. It is absolutely forbidden to directly reveal your identity, because we are not sure whether it is the past or another parallel world. If something goes wrong, you will disappear directly now. I don't understand these complicated things. I just want to talk more with my dad. Naruto looked frustrated. Seeing this, Jiraiya sighed and patted his shoulder. I understand how you feel, because if I can, I also have a lot to say to him, but it's all in the past. I think whether it's Minato or Kushina, they must hope that you will focus on the future. Jiraiya wanted to say something else, but the sky suddenly lit up at this time, and the new content began. No, this is not a good place to choose. Jiraiya looked at the endless desert around him, scratched his head, and gave up the idea of returning to the Dragon Vein Research Institute. He directly used Earth Escape to build a stone house as a foothold. Let's do this for now. After watching this episode of the Sky Curtain, we will continue on the road. Kakashi held a beheading sword and cut the reincarnated watermelon mountain pufferfish demon in half. Sasuke seized the opportunity to perform the sealing technique of watching with covetous eyes and pulled it into the scroll to seal it. The remaining 3 ninja swordsmen rushed to the White Zetsu who were rushing over when they saw the situation was not good. Looking at the White Zetsu army that surrounded the battlefield, Kakashi and Kai were preparing to fight a big fight, and Naruto, who entered the Nine Tails mode, suddenly appeared in front of everyone. At the same time, Naruto's shadow clones also appeared on other battlefields. Almost at the moment of his arrival, the situation on the battlefield changed dramatically. So the Allied Forces headquarters, which received good news one after another, prepared to make a concerted effort and concentrate all their forces to wipe out the enemy. Suddenly, a strong chakra appeared in the perception of the sensing troops. On the Gobi Desert where the 4th unit was located, the second generation Tsuchikage Mu appeared on a stone pillar and faced the ninja coalition. It's the content of the 4th war. There are only 3 left of the 7 ninja swordsmen. When these people first appeared, everyone felt that the sky had fallen, but now it seems that it's just the same. You've seen too many people with strange abilities, so these ninja swords look mediocre. They are still very strong, and the impure world reincarnation is also difficult to deal with. It's just that the coalition's strength is stronger. Did Naruto send shadow clones to all battlefields? His shadow clone has the strength of a cage. How many of them were arranged at once? There's one less shadow. Hey, aren't these white things the ones that disguised themselves as Akatsuki before? It turns out that in addition to the impure world reincarnation, the 4th war also has to deal with these things. There are quite a few of them. I originally thought that the intensity of the battle was high, but the scale might not be that large. Now it seems to be a large-scale war. The second Tsuchikage. Oh, it's the content after that, after summoning Uchiha Madara. Just as everyone was on high alert and prepared to deal with Wu's attack, another figure walked out from behind Wu and caught everyone's eye. He is. Inoki couldn't help showing a look of shock, then his eyes became sharp, and he said heavily, finally he showed up. Uchiha Madara. Everyone subconsciously broke out in cold sweat. Only Gaara noticed the abnormality at the first time. Something is wrong. Look carefully at that guy's eyes. That is the impure world reincarnation. Impure world reincarnation can only bring the dead back to this world, which means he was already dead before. At this time, Inoki also reacted, his face sullen. In this case, who is the guy wearing a mask? Here it comes, Uchiha Madara. It seems that Leon the army was kept in the dark by a Fae, and only now did they know that the other party was not Uchiha Madara. It depends on how the coalition forces planned to deal with Uchiha Madara before this. Now they can directly deal with the real Uchiha Madara. How can the plan based on a Fae's performance be used to deal with Uchiha Madara? Their methods cannot be the same. Let's see how strong Uchiha Madara is. If we use Nagato and Sasuke as reference standards, the coalition forces still have a chance of winning, but the casualties may be great. Is the number of people really useful to Uchiha Madara? How many lives do we have to sacrifice to get a chance to seal him? Inoki looked at the sky with a serious expression. Although Inoki also believed that the coalition had a chance of winning, for some reason, he always felt that things would develop in a direction he could not expect. Uchiha Madara folded his hands in front of his chest, looking down at the thousands of ninja coalitions below with a majestic look, and said to himself, the forward protector with the word ninja, but the attire is that of the 5 major countries. Is it a newly formed coalition? Because this is a war. The second generation Tsuchikage answered casually. Uchiha Madara was silent for a moment, frowning. After all, it was that guy who did it. He must have his considerations. I guess his plan did not go smoothly, and he actually let me revive in this way. Who is this impure world reincarnation practitioner? When Uchiha Madara asked, the second generation Tsuchikage's body suddenly stiffened, and then Kabuto's voice came out through the second generation Tsuchikage's mouth. I am Kabuto, his assistant. It's really dark to talk to me through the impure world reincarnation. Uchiha Madara didn't even look at him, and ignored his ridicule. Kabuto took the initiative to explain, your impure world reincarnation is specially prepared for you by me. Your current strength is even greater than in your prime. Have you seen my prime? At this moment, Uchiha Madara finally turned his gaze to him. Facing his sharp eyes, Kabuto shook his head calmly. No, so now, please let me see the legendary power of Uchiha. Should I say it's worthy of Uchiha Madara? The tone is really cool. Although Afei's voice is the same as his, the difference can be heard from the tone. There is a little less domineering momentum. Kabuto is also amazing. It seems that he did something to Uchiha Madara. Even stronger than in his prime, this impure world reincarnation Uchiha Madara is stronger than when he was alive. Chapter 598. As an immortal body of the impure world reincarnation, it seems that it is not a problem to say that he is stronger than when he was alive. From the tone of Kabuto, it is clear that this is not what he meant. A stream of sand suddenly attacked and tried to restrain Uchiha Madara and the second Tsuchikage, but even this unexpected attack could not do anything to these 2 top ninjas who had experienced hundreds of battles. After dodging the attack of the sand stream, Uchiha Madara fell to the ground. He looked at the army in front of him coldly and replied nonchalantly, okay, A thick white cloud covered the nearby sky and cast a large shadow. Although there was only one person, the ninja coalition felt a mountain of pressure. Uchiha Madara took a step and gradually accelerated to rush towards the coalition. Finally, the ninjas who could not bear the pressure roared and rushed forward. They saw an endless crowd rushing towards Uchiha Madara, and they were about to drown him. As expected of a legendary figure, one person's aura overwhelmed thousands of people on the coalition side. Oh my god. Just looking at the sky makes my heart tighten. With so many people, even if they delay, they can still kill him, even if he is an impure world body. To be honest, the coalition side is more likely to lose. Did someone mention before that the third Raikage fought against 10,000 rock ninjas for 3 days and 3 nights? This is actually true. I was one of the rock ninjas at that time. And as far as I know, Uchiha Madara's strength should be above the third Raikage, not to mention that he is still immortal. But the coalition still has the third Tsuchikage and Gaara. Naruto's shadow clone is also a cage-level fighter. At least it can delay until the reinforcements arrive. It depends on how the legendary Uchiha power mentioned by Kabuto performs. However, the situation is just the opposite. At the moment of contact between the two sides, Uchiha Madara directly plowed a passage in the crowd, and dozens of ninjas were directly knocked out the moment he approached. Uchiha Madara's attack was swift. Although he was inevitably surrounded by the crowd, he was like a man in the air, constantly killing and injuring the ninjas nearby with his sharp and swift physical skills. At this time, the second Tsuchikage flew over the coalition forces and planned to attack with dust release, but found that the move could not be formed, so he could only hide his body. Inoki, who had been paying attention to the entire battlefield, noticed this. Because he knew that the second Tsuchikage in a split state could not perform many ninjutsu, Inoki only asked the perception ninja to keep an eye on his movements, and he focused all his attention on Uchiha Madara. The movements were mediocre, and the speed and strength were not amazing, but the timing of the attack was really good. All attacks hit the opponent's weaknesses, and effective damage can be caused without any effort. It fits the style of the Warring States period. The wars of that era were continuous, and this kind of time-saving and labor-saving combat mode was needed. In fact, whether in the Warring States period or in peacetime, there were no Uchiha people with weak physical skills. The only thing to be thankful for is that their physical skills do not have a large-scale lethality. But the problem is that Uchiha is not famous for physical skills in the ninja world. Ninjutsu and Jinjutsu are the foundation of the Uchiha clan, not to mention that they now have a main Gekyo Sharingan. Those strange eye techniques are simply impossible to defend against. No one dares to say that they have an absolute chance of winning before they use them. Has the second Tsuchikage lost his combat power after splitting? It's probably because dust release is more complicated, but ninjutsu like earth release should still be usable. After Uchiha Madara was summoned, the state of the second Tsuchikage is not important. Temari stopped Gaara, who wanted to take action, and asked him and the Tsuchikage to heal and recover as soon as possible. After all, they are the main force to deal with Uchiha Madara next. I wanted to let Naruto enter the Nine Tails mode again to delay time, but it's a pity that Naruto here is just a shadow clone after all, and he is powerless when his chakra is used up. Temari can only grit her teeth and watch Uchiha Madara continue to wreak havoc in the crowd. Fists, kicks, weapons, sieges, sneak attacks, no matter what means or tactics, all are useless under Uchiha Madara's powerful strength. His movements are exquisite, his postures are smooth, and his insight is sharp, just like dancing on the battlefield, making people wonder whether he will directly kill the thousands of ninja coalitions in this way. As if he was in the mood, Uchiha Madara slowed down his offensive and fought with a cloud ninja for a few times, then grabbed the opponent's neck and lifted him up, saying coldly, "Do you want to dance too?" At this time, a fierce attack hit Uchiha Madara and sent him flying. Temari raised a huge 3-star fan and shouted, "Stop looking down on me." Although Naruto's shadow clone has the combat power of a cage, it seems that he can't fight a protracted battle. It takes too much time to enter the Sage mode temporarily. This is normal. It's already exaggerated that a shadow clone has the combat power of a cage. If he can recover and fight like a normal person, then Naruto can really fight a war by himself. Although he is an enemy, looking at Uchiha Madara's actions, I can't help but say, he's so handsome. Damn. He doesn't take us seriously at all. Does he think this level of fighting is as easy as dancing? The human wave tactic is useless. To deal with Uchiha Madara, We can only let those top ninjas take action. If he is alive, the human wave tactic can still cause some damage to him, but it really has no effect against the impure world reincarnation. Wow. Temari of Tsunagakure is proud. She actually hit that Uchiha Madara. Temari said that she can brag about this for the rest of her life. Asshole. Who would brag about this for the rest of his life? Temari cursed with an unhappy face. Temari knew that Uchiha Madara was a legendary figure, but as proud as she was, she would not use this kind of thing as a topic of conversation to show off. After all, compared with the achievements of other strong men, what is there to praise about her sneak attack? However, after receiving this attack, Uchiha Madara seemed to be fine. He gently brushed off the dust on his arms, then formed seals with his hands, and a sea of fire came out of his mouth. Fire style, great fire extinguishment. Faced with this great fire that seemed to devour everything, a group of mist ninjas quickly stepped forward and performed water style, water array wall. They tried their best to finally block Uchiha Madara's attack. Chapter 599. The entire battlefield was steaming with large amounts of water vapor under the attack of both sides. Then, Uchiha Madara, surrounded by dozens of fireballs, passed through the fog wall and crashed into the coalition's line. For a while, violent explosions occurred one after another in the coalition's line. With his vision blocked and his command lost, Uchiha Madara once again slaughtered the coalition with his katana, but soon, his attack was slowed down by Gaara's sand. Uchiha Madara was fine with Temari's attack. Otherwise, what results do you want? It's already amazing to be able to interrupt his attack. Oh my god. This is the first time I've seen such a powerful fire escape. It took more than a dozen mist ninjas' water escape to barely block his fire escape. Are the legendary ninjas so arrogant? You know, Uchiha has never been known for his chakra. It's just that he is weak compared to Senjo Uzumaki. Uchiha's chakra is definitely stronger than most ninjas. To be honest, I really think he can kill everyone present. Even if Gaara and the third Tsuchikage attack. The offensive is really too fierce. Just now, he was rampant in the coalition with only taijutsu. Now he is using ninjutsu, which is even more amazing. Gaara, who has recovered, controls a large amount of sand to launch an attack. Although the offensive is strong, Uchiha Madara dodges all the attacks in mid-air with his strong insight. Fortunately, he is not the only expert on the field at this time. Naruto attacks from the air with a super large Rasengan in his hand, and Inoki cooperates with the earth escape technique, earthquake core, raising a stone platform to push Uchiha Madara towards Naruto. The attacks of both sides meet, and the powerful shock wave spreads out and blows away dozens of ninjas, but Naruto soon notices that something is wrong with his hand. Under the huge Rasengan, a blue skeleton wrapped around Uchiha Madara's body, and then the skeleton quickly extended, and then a blue two-faced giant crushed the stone platform and disintegrated the attack of the two people. As soon as Susanoo appeared, the coordinated offensive of the three strongest people on the coalition side was disintegrated. There is no blind spot at all, and the combat awareness, tactics, level and ability application are all at the top level. Unlike the enemies that Shinmu Naruto encountered before, there are always some inexplicable weaknesses on their bodies. Uchiha Madara is purely powerful. Too strong. To defeat him, you can only surpass him in hard power. Eternal Mangekyo stared coldly at the people present. Everyone, two blue chakra swords gathered in the palm of Susanoo, and everyone was ready. Gaara protected Naruto and urged, "Not ready yet, Naruto. Give me a little more time." Naruto sat cross-legged on the ground with an anxious look on his face, and the sage mask gradually emerged on his face. During this period, the ninjas of the coalition successively released various ninjutsu to attack Uchiha Madara, but under the solid defense and powerful slash of Susanoo, they could only be ruthlessly slaughtered in constant wailing. Finally, after a lot of sacrifices, Naruto's offensive finally took shape. He was seen holding a huge spiral shuriken in his hand and shouting to the fighting ninjas, "Sorry, it's finally done. Everyone get out of the way." Realizing the opportunity, Inoki immediately landed beside Gaara and used the light and heavy rock technique to greatly reduce the weight of the sand in his garden nearby. Feeling the lightness of the sand, Gaara manipulated the sand under Susanoo to pull Uchiha Madara out directly when Naruto rushed out. "Go, Naruto!" As Gaara shouted, Naruto roared and threw the Rasen Shuriken at Uchiha Madara. It's just a random killing, with Uchiha Madara constantly showing off his strength. Without some special means, you will really feel powerless when facing Susanoo. I can feel the despair of the coalition forces on the sky just by watching. Well, by the way, why are they all counting on Naruto to attack? Can't Gaara and Inoki do it themselves? I really don't understand it. Naruto's attack power is indeed very strong, but it is not stronger than the third Tsuchikage's dust release. Even if Naruto's attack power is stronger than the third Tsuchikage, what effect can a purely destructive attack have against the reincarnated Uchiha Madara? It's even worse than Gaara's ceiling. If the third Tsuchikage's dust release can hit Uchiha Madara, he should be able to destroy him directly without sealing him. Is it because the previous battle with the four shadows consumed all the energy, too much chakra? After all, it's not easy. Not easy. Uchiha Madara sighed, and the fatal spiral shuriken disappeared in his palm. In this situation, everyone on the coalition side showed an unbelievable look, and Naruto was even more horrified. Why did this guy's eyes become the Samsara eye? Uchiha Madara leaned over and jumped onto a stone pillar. The second generation Tsuchikage who was waiting here, through his sight, Kabuto said with a satisfied tone, "Sure enough, as I guessed, the ultimate of Sharingan is the Samsara eye. I opened my eyes not long before I died. Your name is Kabuto, right? What did you do to my body?" Faced with Madara's question, Kabuto proudly responded, "Didn't I say that it would make your ability even better than in its heyday? You actually got the secret of my body. You, a rat who can't read the Uchiha steel, actually cracked my secret." Uchiha Madara showed a cold look, but Kabuto ignored it and kept his tone. "I just tried to establish a hypothesis based on the experimental data of Orochimaru and me for many years. Now, you have proved my hypothesis, Six Paths Sage. I finally used the power I created you to get a glimpse of his divine power. It is the Samsara eye. Although I knew it a long time ago, I still felt the pressure when Uchiha Madara really showed it. By the way, if Nagato Samsara eye was really given by Uchiha Madara, then is there any difference in ability between the Samsara eye that appeared due to the impure world reincarnation and the Samsara eye that Uchiha Madara had before his death? If not, doesn't it mean that a power was copied from a fairy out of thin air? Chapter 600. There should be a difference. For example, the reincarnation technique that Nagato used should not be used by Uchiha Madara now. Otherwise, he could use the immortal body of the impure world reincarnation to infinitely revive the dead, or revive himself. Don't get me wrong, this power is not created by you, Uchiha Madara retorted coldly, and he and the two-faced four-armed Susanoo made different hand seals and released some ninjutsu. The coalition forces that noticed his actions immediately took a defensive posture, but before they could figure out what attack Uchiha Madara launched, the sky suddenly darkened, and everyone subconsciously raised their heads, and then showed dumbfounded expressions at the same time. Bastard. A cloud ninja couldn't help but let go of the ninja sword in his hand and laughed bitterly. Then the sand ninja and the mist ninja also opened their mouths, either covering their heads, or widening their eyes, or trembling all over to express their disbelief. The only thing in common was that everyone's face showed an uncontrollable despair. Even Naruto clenched his teeth with sweat all over his forehead, and Temari murmured with a tremor, "Our strength is not in the same dimension. The power of God." As Gaara sighed, the picture stretched rapidly to the distance. A few seconds later, a huge monster appeared on the sky, and a meteorite that covered the sky and the sun fell straight towards the battlefield with unstoppable power. Puff. Cough cough cough. Oh my god. What is this? Meteorite. Is this an ninjutsu too? Fake. It must be an Uchiha illusion. Ha ha ha. Fake. Oh my god. The screen suddenly stretched and a thing like this appeared. I almost peed. No. I know Uchiha Madara is very strong, but this ninjutsu is too much? The Nine Tails is just a tiny thing in front of this meteorite. This should be the biggest move so far, which has exceeded the scale of Pain's Shinra Tensei. There is no way to escape. The entire battlefield is within the influence of the meteorite. Some people thought that a few thousand people plus the third Tsuchikage and Gaara could defeat Uchiha Madara. Now it seems that even if the number of people is doubled, they are still no match for him. Gaara summarized it very well. It is indeed comparable to the power of God, and now this God is targeting our ninja alliance. Oh my god. Regardless of whether the Fourth World War is our future, I don't want to fight someone like Uchiha Madara at all. This battlefield is useless. There is no hope of a comeback. How should I put it? Ever since I knew that the keyword for this issue is despair emptiness, I have had a bad feeling. Now it seems to be true. Don't be nervous. This is just something that happened on the sky. We don't really need to face Uchiha Madara now, right? This is indeed something to be thankful for, but we must still be wary of those who want to revive Uchiha Madara. If such a person is allowed to live, what hope is there for the ninja world? Uchiha Itachi did a good job, defeating Kabuto and cancelling the impure world reincarnation. Otherwise, if Uchiha Madara had been active for a while, even if the war could be won, there would not be many ninjas left in the ninja world. How can I be on the same battlefield with such an opponent? Temari looked at her hands, and suddenly found that the Uchiha Madara flying in front of her seemed to be the most glorious moment of her life. After all, the opponent was a god who would use meteorites to hit people. Gaara took a deep breath. Compared with Temari's shock, the pressure in his heart, which needed to be the backbone of that battlefield, was so heavy that it was hard to express. The so-called shadow was nothing under such power. Uchiha Madara still makes people as always despair. Is this my end? Inoki's face was extremely gloomy. He thought he could see his own brilliant performance on the battlefield after his personality change, but he was still powerless after all, and could not wash away the humiliation he suffered in his youth. Naruto swallowed subconsciously, and the horror in his eyes could not be concealed at all. How could there be such a person? He feels stronger than Kurama. After all, he was the man who controlled the Nine Tails and competed with a first-generation Hokage for the strongest man in the ninja world, but this performance is indeed beyond the imagination of normal people. Jiraiya responded with a solemn face, and then suddenly thought of Naruto, who would have the title of the strongest in the ninja world in the future. Could it be that he also had this level of power at that time, in the Pure Land? Senju Hashirama frowned, not because he had any opinion on the power of the meteorite, but because he was dissatisfied with Uchiha Madara's reckless release of this power in the ninja world. Why do you still want to affect the operation of reality, Madara? Our era has long passed, why can't you let it go? Uchiha Madara, who was also in the Pure Land, grinned directly after seeing the content of the sky curtain. This is the first time I have seen a meteorite of this size. Yes, this is a stage that matches my identity as Uchiha Madara. Looking at the falling meteorite, the ninjas of the coalition seemed to see a mountain coming towards them. At this moment, everyone lost their fighting spirit, because no matter how they thought about it, no matter how they considered it, there was no way to survive under such an attack. Even if someone could escape by luck, they would definitely be only a very small number of people in the coalition. In such a negative atmosphere, the short Inoki took the initiative to take the lead and shouted, "It's not over yet, what are you talking about? Are you going to give up your lives in vain? Find a way to do something within your ability." After leaving such an encouraging voice, Inoki took the lead and flew straight to the meteorite with a life-threatening attitude. After Gaara regained his composure, he immediately ordered everyone present to stay as far away from the bottom of the meteorite as possible. Kill us too. The second-generation Tsuchikage looked at the falling meteorite with some disbelief. Uchiha Madara took back Susanoo and replied calmly, "Of course, the impure world reincarnation was originally used to perish with the enemy. We will recover in no time." At this time, Uchiha Madara noticed that someone was approaching the meteorite. After a little thought, he recognized the other party's identity, the flying ninja. "That kid is your disciple Xian Xianping." End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.